It has been a busy week in spaceflight. We finally see New Glenn making its debut flight. We've got Chinese astronauts that may or may not be stranded. Oh no, a cruise ship blocking the view! Not again! Roll the intro.
And here we go. We have liftoff. Propulsion continues to be nominal.
RCPA chamber pressure looks good.
Doubling up. Roger, with planet.
Water towers, fly! Yes!
Tango down to nominal.
Flight downside SPD off. Bring in SPD off. It's orange!
R45! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage. Put that in the big bag, Jingle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
The methane would be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You dead? Sure. We don't need any more of these.
Welcome everybody to the Flame Trench. This is NSF's weekly show where we go over some of the cool news happening in spaceflight, get into discussions with all of you in chat about it, and find ways to basically prove that East Coast is best coast and bagels are delicious. I'm Sawyer Rosenstein. I will be your host for this week's episode, but as always, I am not alone. In the words of the predecessor to this show, I am joined by my competent cohort of co-hosts. And joining me first off is EJ. How's it going, EJ Sa?
What's going on, man? How are you? Yeah. Your predecessor. We don't talk about him anymore. Don't even mention his name. We don't talk about him no more, okay? We talked about this.
You're right. We won't mention, I guess we'll call him Elk. So we don't mention the yak. We'll call him Elk. How's that?
No, John Seller.
And his name is John Seller. Oh, wait, no, that's different.
Ba-ba-da-da. Don't sue me, YouTube.
Anyway, good to have you, EJ. Also joining me on the trench today is Max Evans. Max, good to see you in the trench.
Good to see you too, Sawyer and EJ, and our next guest who's just after me.
Wait, there's more?
Wait, there's more.
In case you couldn't get enough Cape Team, also joining me here on the Flame Trench is EJ and D-Wise.
Hey, D, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty great. You know, it's been a busy week. It's been a fun week. It's great to be here in the Flame Trench with clearly our host, given that you're on screen with me, EJ.
Yeah. I'm in charge of this now. This is great. All right. Great. So, what's the topic of discussion? What do we got? Sawyer? What do we got on the list today? Are we going to talk about? I don't know. It's kind of some boring stuff happening this week. We just saw another rocket land. It's no big deal, right? Like, I'm bored. Come on.
Well, I thought you're the host. You should know what we're doing, right?
Oh, I don't know
totally
what we're
not
doing.
me.
No, welcome to the hosting doesn't matter. Anyway, welcome. The points don't matter.
Yeah, thank you, Drew Carey, or I should Tyler now. Anyway, yeah, this is not Whose Line Is It Anyway, because if so, puns apparently don't fly well. What doesn't fly well also currently is Dream Chaser, because it's kind of still stuck on the ground, but we did get an update on that. I promise we will be getting to New Glenn and Blue Origin. We have a lot to talk about with that, but we have a couple other topics first. And again, as we go through these topics, if you have questions, you can tag us at NASA Spaceflight or at NSF, and we will do our best to answer as many of your questions as we can throughout the show, as you know. So yes, Dream Chaser, the mini space shuttle, the shuttle that never was, that could be, that maybe is, maybe isn't. In case you're unaware, it is formerly Sierra Nevada Corps, now Sierra Space, that has the vehicle. It was originally going to have crew on it, and then they said, actually, nah, right now we're going to focus on cargo. They joined in with NASA's CRS-2 program, which was to resupply the ISS. That included Cargo Dragon and Cygnus. And then this one was supposed to fly at some point, but it still hasn't yet. They're still in testing. Here's the latest testing update. As you can see, they did some tow testing at the launch and landing facility, former the shuttle landing facility at the Kennedy Space Center. They did it at high speeds, drove it around to do some maneuvering with it. They also did testing to safe the vehicle as if it were after landing, and on top of that, also to remove the payloads from it when it comes to time-sensitive payload removal. EJ, before I continue on with Sierra Space and Dream Chaser,
Yeah.
truck. Help us
Oh.
out, car guy.
Oh, that's a Freightliner Cascadia, man. Brand new, actually, with the fairings on the fairing hubs on the rear wheels. Very nice. Very nice truck. Fetches a nice premium.
Is it like a sporty truck? Is it a heavy
No.
truck? What? Just truck?
Well, that's a long. Okay, all right, fine. We're gonna do this. That's a long haul truck, which is why I don't really know why they'd be using it to tow it around. It's definitely tagged Sierra Space too, so I don't know why you just wouldn't use a truck with like a tag axle and a day cab here if we're gonna talk like lifting and moving things around. But yeah. That's a nice truck. That's a really nice truck for testing. Their budget must be really high or something.
You're funny.
It's a little bit over engineered. It's a little bit, a little bit high end for just towing the thing around.
Yeah, which again, you see it raised up on the nose because it doesn't actually have nose landing gear. It has a sort of skid strip for that. So testing all of the high-speed maneuvering with Tenacity, which is the flight vehicle. They were also working on another one called Reverence, and when we asked them, we reached out to Sierra Space and got some comments specifically from them, and they said, yeah, it's kind of on hold right now. Also, I'm just going to point out for the landing, this is the part that's bugging me. It is going to land on its first flight, which is set for 2026, in Vandenberg. It's not even at Edwards, so we can't even say shuttle derived. It's not going to be at the launch and landing facility. First flight is going to be landing at Vandenberg. Go ahead, Fluffy. I know you're already going West Coast, Best Coast in chat, but it's not true. Don't clip that out of context. Bergen did it already yesterday.
Shuttle
Don't they
derived.
want to be able to see it land? Don't they want great footage of it coming down to the runway? Like, they don't want to just have shots of fog. They want to be
Right.
able to see it land. Why would they choose Vandenberg?
Exactly. That's what I mean. Come on, Sierra Space. But some other things that they were doing was a bunch of electromagnetic testing and electricity and currents and all of that ahead of their flight. That was also done at the Kennedy Space Center. And in fact, NSF was sent some exclusive photos for us to use showing while it was being prepared for that testing. So exciting times potentially for it. They also did, there's some of those photos of it. We also saw TDRS testing, so with the Tracking Data Relay Satellite Systems Network. Now the question is, what's the use for it? Because Flight 1 is going to be just a free-floating, orbiting kind of test flight. And we asked them also in the email, like, hey, so with the whole ISS ending in 2030, and you guys definitely not making the original 7 flights to the point where NASA modified your contract to remove that part, what are you even going to do with it? And they basically said that they're looking at other mission profiles that they can use with it. We asked if you could be reaching out to like the United Nations because they at one point had talked about using it as their go-to research vehicle. And they said that they're looking into different contracts. And in particular, they mentioned the defense tech market. So at least we have some updates, but does this show any promise? The fact that they're planning for end of next year, basically, for this thing to fly, that we're seeing active testing, that they're planning on mission profiles. Do we think that this still has a potential for a future?
Where have we heard this sort of, I don't want to say jargon, but this pitch before, in that we are building a vehicle, albeit it wasn't a space plane, and then after a few delays and some failed tests, they are now pivoting toward defense. Where have we heard that before? Anybody? No?
Which one?
They're in a company long wall defense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wish that, when we saw Dream Chaser in Ohio last year, we were super excited because at that point we were expecting it to fly maybe in Q4 or early Q5 or Q5. Wow, Q1 of 2025, and obviously that hasn't happened. And the finish line, or I should say the first starting point for this program in terms of flight testing, has been pushed out again and again and again with no real hope of any major timeline or any real hope of something happening in the near future. I used to be a lot more optimistic about the program as a whole. I really like Dream Chaser. I love Sierra Space and what they stand for. But I think the one word to describe this whole program to this point is yike. Is that accurate?
You bet.
Yeah, you concur. We don't.
We actually want more of
We
these.
want more of these. Yes.
I agree. I agree with Max. I just sorry about the tapping, by the way. That was me, guys. I don't know. I don't have any faith that this thing's ever gonna fly. That's great. You did all this testing. You towed around. You took some great pictures. Sierra clearly wants to pivot to defense. That's clearly what they want to do. And like you were saying, I mean, Max, you took all the words out of my mouth. Like it's like what you're saying, dude. Like pivoting to defense is something you do when you have no money. Like that's something you do when your business model is not working. You know, or you've had a major setback, which is like what happened to ABL. The RS-1 rocket popped, and that did suck. So, I mean, obviously, we haven't seen anything with Sierra Space, go wrong. Like we haven't seen an overt failure. One of their approach and landing tests back in the day didn't go very well, but it just goes back to it, man. Like I agree. I don't see what this thing does. Like what is it doing? Where's it going? Like what's the mission here? I mean, how bad is it when NASA, who's waited, God knows how long for the Artemis 1 mission to be like, yeah, okay, you're taking too long. Yeah, nah, yeah, nah. Like what has Sierra Space been doing for the last 15 years? Like it's just a genuine question. Like, I mean, I don't mean to come off harsh, right? But what have you guys been doing? You had the funding, right? What's going on here? Like I think it was 2021, they had like $1.2 billion like Series D investment. What have you been doing? Like, that's not Sierra Nevada, that's Sierra Space. That was when they spun off Sierra Space into their own company. 1.2 billion
With a B. With
Tres
a B.
Comas. What is going on here? Like, what are you doing? Like, oh yeah, let's go take some pictures with, a $300,000 semi truck towing it around. Like, it's like, dude, what are you guys doing? What are you doing over here? I don't think, Max, I agree. I don't think this thing ever is going to fly. D, what about you?
I want to be hopeful because I think it's a really cool vehicle. I want to see more space planes, but I feel like since I started covering space flight, it's been always right on the horizon, and it feels like the horizon has just gotten farther and farther and farther away.
It feels
I
like
can't
they're
feel confident about it long term, no matter how much I want to. Like,
at this point, it just feels like they're trying to find a reason to keep it alive and to find something for it to do, which is not a great position to be in because why was it built in the first place? It's really disappointing. And maybe they'll have the comeback of the century, and maybe they'll find some purpose with it in the future, because obviously the space station is not long for this world. It is going to be it should be deorbited at this point by 2030 at the latest, if everything keeps up with the current plan. And it's already 2025, the end of 2025, when it seems like yesterday it was 2020 and 2030 was a whole decade away. It really feels like they're trying to find something for it to do, and that's not a great position to be in, whether you are in aerospace manufacturer of any type, whether it be you build launch vehicles, you build spacecraft, you build satellites, whatever it may be. I remember listening to EJ's rant, I think, whenever this was, weeks ago, when the announcement came out of the fate of what Dream Chaser has been up to and what it may or may not be doing, and of course its major delays. I'm not going to rehash it. And I don't think it's not going to ever fly. I would like to say that it will fly once or twice. But given the
Cole.
current circumstances, in the beginning it was Vulcan that wasn't ready, and that was the whole narrative, right? Because Vulcan was also a very delayed launch vehicle, and to this point has only flown 3 times, mind you, first flying at the beginning part of 2024. But that's not the case anymore. Vulcan is proven, it's certified, and where's Dream Chaser? Like, where is it? Where has it been all these years? I wish I knew. I wish I had better answers, and I wish I had a better outcome for it. But at the current timeline, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, Dream Chaser is supposed to be, I think, the first or the second payload for Vulcan as one of its kind of kickoff payloads and demonstrations. I definitely think it's going to fly. I think it would be wrong to say that it's never going to fly. I mean, yes, it keeps getting pushed out, but they've got everything set aside. They've got a vehicle. The fact that they actually have the flight vehicle and it's in the state that it is, at least from what we've seen from the photos and what they've told us, it seems like something that will be flyable. Obviously, they've been doing this testing for years, as they pointed out. And yeah, it does sting though. I was at the unveiling basically. We were at STS 135 in the press, and after one of the pre-launch briefings, they're like, "Stay around for a special event." And all of a sudden, it was Mark Sarangelo and then NASA Administrator Charlie Bolden coming out and signing this big deal for Dream Chaser to eventually carry crew. That was 2011. Again, shuttle was still flying at that point, so
Yeah.
it's a long time coming. And in terms of its future, I do want to quote exactly what the company said in response to our question. They said, "We are in active discussions with many stakeholders about the potential usage of the vehicle as a national asset and beyond. The contract modification allows us to explore the spaceplane's unique capabilities to meet the needs of diverse mission profiles, including emerging and existential threats and national security priorities that align with our acceleration into the defense tech market." That's the exact wording from it. So, I mean,
So,
Nice word salad.
yeah.
You want some
in other
salad
words,
dressing
you're
with that?
trying to find something for it to do.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch at that point. That's why I think they'll definitely get a kind of proving flight off the ground, but then people are going to see it and go, "But why?
Yeah.
What would we need it for?"
So all right, I got a question. Read that press statement again. What does that actually say? Does it say anything of substance? What does that even mean?
Here's the exact question that we asked them and their response. We said, if the CRS-2 or ISS future becomes fully ruled out, at least because the ISS has limited years remaining anyway, is Sierra Space looking to work with MOUs with the UN, EU, etc.? Could there be good potential for commercial stations from cargo to a potential return of the crew variant? That was our question. Their response again was, quote, "We are in active discussions with many stakeholders about the potential usage of the vehicle as a national asset and beyond. The contract modification allows us to explore the spaceplane's unique capabilities to meet the needs of diverse mission profiles, including emerging and existential threats and national security priorities that align with our acceleration into the defense tech market."
So no. Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks for the clarification. No. That's a really, 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 really long way of saying no.
Fair, yeah. When you get the whole context of it, I see where you're coming from. I get that.
So, like from the beginning, it's been years now that Sierra Space has been trying to explore different opportunities. Actually, once at CES, I got to talk with them and their head of business development, and they were talking about the potential for the more defense-focused versions. And so there was a time when we had, I believe, 3 different versions of Dream Chaser, including an uncrewed version, a crewed version, and then a more defense-focused one that could potentially go into higher orbits, have more capabilities on board. And now, mind you, the first version was also supposed to fly in 2022 at that time, and we're in late 25, and we're seeing potentially the first flight for any version would be next year. So I'm not overly surprised by the fact that they might be pivoting more heavily towards alternate uses, because it's kind of been along there from the start. There were certainly discussions of what's the best way to make a plane, what will, and even on the control interfaces, because there were certain renders that showed Dream Chaser not even having windows, and then other renders that showed it having windows. And so it's like, was it going to use screens for the operator control? Was it going to use windows? And, you know, if you go more down the defense path, you can go with the screens, and you have a lot more ease of developing the plane. And I mean, there's a lot to see, and trying to reach those commercial markets, it could, absolutely, but there's a lot more of a safe bet and more missions that you can do if you're not reliant on bring people to a station. If you're going more of that, even the uncrewed route. But I just want to see Dream Chaser fly. Come on.
I know.
It's not happening.
Shuttle derived whatever at this point. EJ, you're adamant about that. You really are, that you don't think it'll fly ever versus at least once or twice.
Dude, pivoting to defense is the kiss of death for commercial space flight companies. Everybody that's tried to do that has failed. Like, maybe SpaceX notwithstanding, if you count them as a defense contractor at this point. But SpaceX is clearly the anomaly in the commercial market, because, I mean, look at the stats of launches, right, comparatively to everybody else. Like, everyone that has tried to pivot, like Max said it the best right at the beginning, dude. Everybody's tried to pivot to defense. That's cope for we failed. Like, and you know what sucks, dude? I love Dream Chaser. I love it. I think it's great. But look, man, as a spaceflight fan, I can't be okay with this. Like, that's really it. I can't be okay with this. This project has been funded. You know, they had that $1.2 billion private investment, right? And they're $350 million for what? $350 million of NASA's money, Sawyer. What for what? For what? To tow it around and take some nice pictures? For what? Like, come on now. That's $350 million taxpayer money. Is the taxpayer going to see that back when this thing doesn't fly? Probably not. This behavior should not be okay. This is the type of behavior that allows SLS to be way late and have contract payouts be, you're rewarded for completing the contract on time. No, this type of behavior should not be rewarded. It should be shunned. I'm sorry. Like, I love Dream Chaser, and I have nothing personal against Sierra. I want Dream Chaser to fly just as much as everybody else does here. But, 15 years, man. That was STS-135, sorry. That was 15 freaking years ago. Okay, 14 and a half, if we're being very technical.
Make me feel old, thanks.
But in that time, think about what's been able to happen in the spaceflight world. SpaceX came online and became the absolute dominating force that they have, when back in 2011, no single rocket stage had landed by itself and been recovered. Like, that's how much time has passed, and that's how far technology has moved since that time. Which, for the lack of a better word, is inexcusable. I think it's
it's not okay, dude.
It's not okay.
Like, and once again, I don't have any personal qualms like with Sierra Space or anything. Like,
no,
you guys said, like, look, man, you said you were going to do something and you haven't done it. Like, it's that simple. Like,
also,
if I show up to work and say I'm going to do something and I have a specific job and I'm getting paid for a specific job and I don't do it, you get fired. It's pretty straightforward stuff.
Also, where have we seen that before? Where something was promised with a vehicle and that hasn't come to fruition?
Gee, I don't know. Tell us.
Rhymes with Schmoing's Barliner or something. I don't know.
Schmoing, Shmee 100 or something.
By the way,
something like that. Yes.
It's gotten so bad that I was talking with my dad, and he says you cannot. He's the one that's saying you can't say the word Starliner without laughing after it now.
Yeah. Ouch.
Oh, I could say something so mean. I'm not gonna.
Say it. Say it.
Save it for the post show.
Okay.
But
Football.
Here's the question.
That's it.
Here's the question. Oh,
Your
here's
dad's
the
gonna
question
kill me.
that's coming along. Yeah, go ahead, make fun of the Jets. It's fine. I've seen a bunch of people asking about this. Adrian, Mars, Ozzy, Ethan's, all saying, what's the deal then with Dream Chaser that X-37 can't do? Or, why isn't anybody produced a scaled up variant of Boeing's X-37B? Because that's a proven design.
Because
How do you answer that one?
the X-37 was built and contracted by the Department of Defense after it was initially built and with the intention of use with NASA. And then the DoD was like, hey, we want to use this, plucks it, and now we hardly get any information out of it in terms of what it does, where it goes, really any of its functions. And it's also a much different vehicle. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Max. I don't mean to butt in. I just want to add something real quick. The DoD didn't pluck it. NASA vipered the X-37A. They vipered it.
Yes.
I want to make that very clear. Anyway,
right.
keep going.
You're right. No, you're good. But also, the X-37 is a much different vehicle than Dream Chaser. For one, it has a payload bay, a very small payload bay, but it has a payload bay. And Dream Chaser needs to be berthed to, oh gosh, what's it called? I can't think of the actual module. I can't remember. I used to know it.
Node?
No. The actual module that it docks to at the back. The actual
Shooting Star.
Shooting Star. Thank you.
Oh, you mean the payload? The attachment to it? Yeah.
Yes. So it needs that because the actual lifting body itself does not provide that much carrying capacity in terms of what it can carry to the ISS, which is what its plan and goal has been for at least the last 5 to 6 years. And now with they're two way different vehicles. They have way different functions and they fly way differently as well. And also one is go ahead.
Boeing did have a study into building the X-37C as a commercial crew.
They did. They did.
As a commercial crew entry, but they decided to make Starliner instead.
And that obviously boded very well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's going real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, so essentially developing a space plane like this or any real lifting body requires a lot of time and research, kind of like what we saw with the space shuttle. And essentially, there's a reason why many people have gone back to using capsules over space planes for carrying crew to the space station. It's just a lot easier and it's a lot more simple. It's also a lot quicker to refurb too. Like with Dragon, we've seen Dragons fly now up to 5 or 6 times, maybe more.
Are they though? Is SpaceX the exception to this rule? Are they? Like, look at Boeing pivoted to making a capsule because they're easier to make. You sure about that?
Yeah, you sure about that?
You sure about that?
Yeah. Maybe that point didn't come across as well as I had initially anticipated.
Sorry, man.
No. It's warranted.
All right.
I mean, there's a reason why Starship is shaped the way it is. It's also kind of a lifting body in a way. That's why it's so blunt.
Shuttle derived.
Everything shuttle derived, basically. Everything. Even Apollo. It's all derived.
Yep.
In some timeline, right?
Oh yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
Well,
yes. There it is.
Well, there it is. There it is.
All right.
It's essentially TLDR to answer the question. It's just way too big of a headache, really, to develop. And obviously, by the time it's nearly ready to fly, there's no purpose for it or business.
By the way, some random person in chat who I won't name, Elk, we'll call them, said only wusses like capsules over space planes.
You know what? I kind of agree with the Elk. I kind of agree. I agree, dude. The whole I'm sitting in a tin can, dude. That was 50 years ago. That's 50 years ago. We perfected capsule design 50 years ago. All right, like the shuttle was the right idea. All right, it was the right idea. Just the execution was.
It's the right size, wrong shape, kind of thing.
The execution existed. It was there.
I have to agree. Like, who wants to fly in a capsule if you can fly in a plane, have that return? Like,
I mean,
I don't know. I think space planes are superior.
I mean, like, have you ever seen the videos or the internal videos of Soyuz astronauts returning through the atmosphere, and they're like tumbling, just like going like this? That sounds fun to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. That sounds fun.
And here's the thing for me, maybe for low Earth orbit, sure. If you're going anywhere beyond low Earth orbit, I definitely want a capsule. I feel like that's more proven for the higher reentry heating, for the steeper angles. It's copied off a meteorite, and literally, people look at meteorites, saw the kind of curved underneath to it, and like, hey, maybe that natural design that's caused by the atmosphere that allows us to survive would work for keeping our meat bags alive, and it did. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, Sawyer, just a little bit of a additional addendum to that statement. That's a good idea. Maybe we should make another Apollo capsule. With like a heat shield like that. That has a honeycomb fiberglass overlay with Avcode injection. Maybe that would be a really good idea if we did that, and we wouldn't have to, worry about it, charring.
What? No, the heat shield is fine on Orion. Nothing happened at all. No concerns, except all the concerns. But yeah, no, I kind of like Max's theory though. It does look fun. It looks painful as heck, but it looks fun.
I have to be honest. If I'm going to space, I don't care how I'm returning. I want to go to space regardless. I wouldn't be picky if I got offered a ride in it, whether it's a capsule, a space plane, whatever it may be. I would take that ride.
Now, D, I have a question real quick. All right, so if you had to choose between Virgin Galactic and Blue Origin, which one would you fly on?
Ooh.
Okay, that's a really challenging one.
See?
Ooh.
I might. Oh, okay. So I think the difference here is I want the launch experience in some ways.
Okay.
And for those reasons, I would kind of want to go with New Shepard and Blue Origin, and for the amount of reliability that Blue has proven, and we'll be talking more about Blue's reliability here later. For those reasons, I would want to go with New Shepard. At the same time, though, having watched Virgin like drop from the plane, ignite, go vertical, just like that also be so cool, and it's a really hard choice. I'm not
land back at
certain
a runway.
one way or another.
A runway.
It's a modern day X-15.
I like the idea still of New Shepard. Again, you're launching on a rocket, you're landing on a parachute. It just feels more, heroic. Feels more like you're the steely-eyed missile man of the '60s. It kind of gives you that, hey, I actually accomplished something. Also, Carmen line, astronauts. Oh wait, no, sorry, I don't work for Blue.
On the same line, though, it'd be really cool to fly in a totally manually operated spacecraft. Like, that's
True.
just the amount of skill and like focus that must require, and I can't even sort of imagine the amount of effort that actually goes into that. And so, yeah, sure, the capsules with all the computer systems, like I might feel safer there, but it's pretty cool to manually control something going to space. Asterisk, Carmen line.
Oh boy. Well, here's the evil question from Element. At what point does a vehicle count as a space plane? You could almost argue that Starship is a space plane. It produces lift and has 4 wings, quote unquote.
I'll agree with this. Yep.
I don't.
So-
Maybe the determination on the plane requires a runway.
I get what you're coming from. But Starship is not really a plane. It doesn't fly like a plane. I mean, sure, it has glide range, but it's not. Oh, now my head hurts from this one.
See, it was a good question. It was good.
I think that New Glenn might count as a space plane before Starship could possibly count.
I was gonna go there.
Ooh.
Because
Yes, go
the
there.
Strakes technically generate lift, as much lift as a pair of F-16 wings, as Dave Limp has said before. So under that definition,
And we're also comparing like second stage of Starship to first stage of New Glenn. So this is a really cursed comparison. I think we can all agree that Falcon 9 is definitely not a space plane, though.
Correct. But oh man.
And Ryan in the back channel is trying to argue that fixed wings and a weight greater than the air it displaces.
I also want to point out that he misspelled airplane. For the record,
spelled it aeroplane.
It's AIR plane, not aeroplane.
Oh jeez. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if this thing actually does end up flying. I still hope it does. I still hope it has a future. I don't know much beyond 1 or 2 flights, but I still want to see a resurrection of the shuttle a bit. Anyway, let me take a moment and thank some people here. We've already had amazing support. Eric, thank you for upgrading to Capcom member. Capcom and above gets access to the NSF Discord, which does include the pre- and post-show for the Flame Trench. So hopefully we'll see you in the post-show, and you can hang out with us afterwards. JC Davis with a $50 super chat saying, just because you're all awesome. Well, thank you. You're awesome, too, for doing that. We appreciate it. The Space Pope coming in saying, still haven't recovered from the last trench. Sad Pope. I miss Jack's voice. Who is this Jack that you speak of?
Yeah. Back Gyre or something like that? I don't know.
Don't know who that is.
Don't know.
Thank you, Space Pope. And then Wilbo back and saying, bless the Space Pope. So right back at you. Mr. Fluffy coming in saying, Burt Bacon Beige? What? Beige? What?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oliver Remond saying, EJ, why no Cap today? Also, you didn't do the book thing. Traditions, dude, traditions.
I think we threw traditions out after the last Flame Trench. The tradition. Yeah. It's time to start new traditions.
Fair point. So who's going to start fiddling on the roof then?
Oh my gosh. I was thinking of a way to make that joke, and then you... Okay.
Fiddle player, come on.
I'm a little lost, I have to admit, in that joke.
There's the musical Fiddler on the Roof, and the opening song is called Tradition.
You weren't a theater kid, it's okay.
I was not.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, neither was I. I don't know if you guys could put that together, chat.
No, I have not heard that.
Oh boy, yeah. You can tell who the 2 theater kids in this episode
pivoted
are.
From that real quick.
Yeah, I wonder which one was the car jock. I don't know.
Wonder who that could have been.
No idea.
It was definitely me.
Yeah, I think D is the kind of person to go and rebuild an engine block. Yep, re-hone it, deck the block, check for run out on the cam bearings.
I know what those words mean. Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, technically, EJ, you don't rebuild an engine block, you rebuild an engine. The engine block is either cast or forged.
Oh.
Are you familiar with honing and decking a block to avoid cylinder taper?
I mean,
after high mileage?
Yeah, but that's not rebuilt. Never mind. I'm rolling way off topic here.
Don't do this. You don't want this fight.
I will save it for the after show. Okay.
Yeah, you will.
Oh. Anyway, there's a poll in chat going on right now, by the way, saying you're rich and want to be called an astronaut at rich people dinner party. Which vehicle? Virgin Galactic, Blues New Shepard, or wait for point to point? Boy, I wonder who wrote that question.
Oh my gosh, Kevin.
Oh no.
Come on.
Oh, that's mean.
If the Audacity had a face, that would have been it.
For those who don't know, that's from the pre-show where D was asked to switch connections, and of course it does a freeze frame of whatever your last face was before you disconnect.
Oh my!
And that was said face.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It lives forever.
That's why you got to join the pre-show, folks. I'm telling you.
I didn't expect that to be shown on screen. Now I have to say, as much as I was saying Virgin Galactic,
DY jump scare.
Come on. As much as I was like saying Virgin Galactic is so cool, and it's close between New Shepard and Virgin Galactic. If I got to choose between those three and they were guaranteed, I'd want to do Starship Point to Point. That seems like the coolest, the longest flight. Like,
yeah. I actually, DM with you. I'll be sitting right next to you when that happens. Let's go.
As long as you get some zero G time, though, you know, you launch like a rocket and get some zero G time, then yeah.
I want a lot of zero G time.
Yeah, I'm with you. Twitch chat says use the D face for the breaking news stinger.
Yes.
I saw someone in chat asking for merch of it.
Limited time only. You can only get it for like 10 minutes. After that, it's gone forever.
I'd wear that.
Yeah, I'd wear that
Not gonna lie, D. I'd wear that.
Absolutely.
Oh gosh, I don't like if it gets made. I need it. I need one of those shirts, and it is never getting worn.
Oh,
not by you, but by us it will.
A lot.
Oh god. Okay.
Anyway, James Yoder saying that they think it will fly, but Sierra needs funding for it. Also pointing out with the next super chat, they're shopping it to the EU and getting no buyers. Ouch. Cynic.
It's never flying.
Cynic in Chief. There we go. Saying with Starliner on ice and Dream Chaser almost out of money, is there any real competition to Dragon? Are we going to be flying Orion to Leo, potentially on New Glenn? It's a good question. Is there really any competition? I don't think there is right now.
Starliner will happen eventually.
You think so? You really think so?
Yeah, it'll happen eventually. Boeing is anticipating a bigger expansion of the commercial market. They've said many times that they want to stick with that. They're there to stick with it. But see, the problem is that look, the whole astronaut stranding thing. They weren't really stranded, but they kind of were, but they kind of weren't. They got their thermal analysis on pulse width modulation on their thrusters incorrect. Okay, look, you get to the crew test flight and you run into that kind of unknown. Something ain't stirring the Kool-Aid there, man. What else is wrong with this thing? Thank you. I was waiting for that. I'm like, I am in the void. What else is wrong with this thing? The thermal analysis on pulse width modulation during rendezvous proximity operations and docking was wrong. That was admitted by the VP of the Starliner program, Mark Nappy, before he retired in a press conference last summer. All right? Look, if your thermal analysis is wrong, what else is wrong? Like, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of systems on Starliner that are good. The Vesta system is fantastic. And there's a lot of systems on that thing that are really good, but stuff like that is overshadowing all of it, which kind of sucks. But I do think that Starliner will eventually go. But what?
I'm sorry, I'm seeing something queued up in the. I'm seeing something queued up in the back channel right now. It looks incredible.
Why are you doing this to me? I see all of the merch suggestions in chat with shirts and mugs and bumper stickers, and Kevin seems to be preparing a potential image of merch, which come on,
that is okay.
I couldn't not react to that when I saw that pop up.
I know. I couldn't help but chuckle. I'm sorry, EJ.
Sorry, EJ. Please continue.
No.
You were in the middle of something.
No, it's good. I think you should show it while I'm giving my explanation. We'll see what grabs people's attention more.
Wait, Kevin, are you for real?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh my god. Anyway.
No, Starliner I think will eventually go. It will eventually fly. There's a lot of good systems on it, but you know, if you messed up the thermal analysis like that, something, you know, if I were Boeing, I'd be looking over everything at this point. You don't want to have any more surprises here, and I think that's what we're doing. I think that's what they're doing, and I think that's why it's taking so long. Like, there's, you know, it's like, oh, we're not flying until 2026. It's like, wait, what? I think they're reviewing everything, you know, just to be absolutely sure. What's up?
No. If you really think it has a future, like I'm curious, CJ. Like what's what do you think the 5-year plan is for it? Like where's it going? Because the ISS doesn't have long left, and the space station, I guess, replacement or its successor may or may not be ready by then. So where's it going?
Well, commercial low Earth orbit destinations. NASA has said in press conferences, and I believe Sawyer actually asked this question in a press conference. It was either him or Sloss. I don't remember. Shout out to Phil Sloss. Amazing. And Sawyer too. Hi, Sawyer.
Thank you.
Yeah. NASA mentioned that it was Dana Weigel, I believe, who's kind of runs the ISS program. She said that if, you know, Starliner's on the hook for 6 missions. If we can't get those 6 missions to the ISS, we'll roll them over into low Earth orbit destinations or find another use for them. So Starliner is going to fly. NASA doesn't have the ick with it like they do with Dream Chaser, right? They'll do it and they'll roll it over to low Earth orbit destinations. Now, Max, what destinations those are? Axiom, if I had to guess, maybe Orbital Reef from Blue. It's clear. It's very clear after the events of this week that Blue has been cooking up a lot of good stuff, right? So maybe New Glenn isn't the only ace that they have in the hole. Who knows? There are things. I mean, maybe even Vast, even though I highly doubt that. But maybe if NASA buys a mission to it, maybe, who knows? There is light at the end of that tunnel. Unlike Dream Chaser, who has no buyers, no market, and even NASA's like, yeah, why don't you free fly this next year and then we'll see what's going on. I gotta go. All right.
You're gonna fly and you're gonna like it. That's basically a Starliner.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they have the Atlases reserved for it. They're not making any more Atlas rockets, and they're just sitting there waiting for it. So.
Yep, exactly. They already have the Atlases prepared for it. It's flying. It's gonna fly. Now, what it does when it flies, I have no idea. No idea.
To do things.
Rosebud asking, by the way, why not use it as a passenger orbiter? That was kind of the original plan, but making something like that crew-rated is extremely difficult. It's much more difficult, in my opinion, than just cargo something.
Sawyer, here's the thing. There was a guy at Sierra Space, I think he was the vice president of Sierra Space a little while back, said, and I think this was even before it was Sierra Space, I think it was SNC, Sierra Nevada Corporation, which is kind of what Sierra Space is. He did say that there is 95% commonality between the crewed and uncrewed variants of Dream Chaser. Keep in mind, this was a press statement like, oh, I don't know, when Dream Chaser was flying next year, 6 years ago. So, yeah, I mean, there is other things to it, but apparently they saw it as something that they could pivot to relatively easy. But yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like if they would have done that, I mean, we've talked about it before, the fact that for their crew version, they were talking about eliminating windows when they were to move on to that. Potentially just use live cameras for the views internally. They're obviously not serious right now about crew if that's what they're thinking of in terms of trying to save commonality. Just my thoughts.
Yeah. I think stuff has changed since that press statement, but dude, at this point, I like, okay, it's, oh my gosh, I don't mean to just go barking up Sierra Space's tree. Sierra people, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like this. It's just, I don't believe anything you guys say. I don't believe anything you guys say. You guys have been saying this thing's launch next year for like the past 10 years. All right, I don't believe anything you say. Like, sorry. Like they said it was, oh, we're testing it. We're doing all kinds of testing it. Bro, it looks like you towed it out on a runway. And then just like drove up and down, took some pictures, and put it back. Like, I don't believe anything you guys say. I'm sorry. Like, I don't mean to be like that. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. I really want to see Dream Chaser fly, and you seem to be the people that are preventing that from happening.
And also, when we had that one big media event at the NASA Armstrong facility in Ohio in the early parts of last year, that was shortly after it was made a 2 shooting star, which we were under the impression that like they were not going to decouple the vehicles prior to its first flight, even though at that point it still needed some TPS work. And to see them decouple the vehicles, and at this point, I think it's honestly it's the same with Starliner. I think it's almost like beating a dead horse, and whatever happens with them will happen. And if they find success, which I hope they do, I will feel nothing but joy for them. But it will be forever clouded by the amount of delays and the amount of cash burned that both programs have had to endure to this point. If they don't find success and they end up being grounded, although I think, as you were saying, EJ, I think Dream Chaser has the better chances of being the only one there being grounded or maybe never flying, it would also not be surprising. As painful as that is to say, it would at this point it would not be surprising.
You put it a lot nice. You're a lot nicer man than me, Max.
I'm
a lot nicer than I did.
I'm trying to be PG about it.
Yeah, I'm not.
I know you're not. That's why I love you.
It's been 15 years. I'm not.
Yeah.
No, my patience ran out.
I get it.
Patience, correct? Is that what it is?
Yes. Yeah, that's
Drunar,
yeah. That was good. That was good. Anyway,
Drunar coming into a military application Dream Chaser. Will it fit a GAU 8A? Brr.
Mole Part 2?
I mean, I feel like at this point that's X-37B is basically military Dream Chaser. Also can last years in space versus weeks or months.
Literally, yes.
And in fact, Serial Swordsman coming in saying, so it's just another X-37B now. At least that seems to be the intent. It's a shame. I really like Dream Chaser. Would have been a cool crew vehicle. Agreed.
Yeah, dude, like that. Yeah, exactly. Like you're gonna pivot to defense. Like what can Dream Chaser do that X-37B can't? Like X-37B is better at pretty much every conceivable function. The only thing is that the X-37B can't dock to things.
As far as we know.
Can it? Yeah, or can it? I don't know. Like maybe it can. Like, but then again, neither can Dream Chaser. It can't dock to nothing.
By the way, I just find it funny that they're so super secretive about the plane. They're tight-lipped on when it's launching, when it's landing, what orbit it's going into. They don't want anyone to know anything about it. But yet, if you go down by the Kennedy Space Center, if you go on one of the bus tours there, and you work towards the VAB, there is a giant sign plastered on the side of one of the former orbiter processing facilities, home of the X-37B. It's like, oh yeah, we're not going to tell you anything about it, except here's where it is. It's in here. Look, it's in here. So,
you want to look inside? No, you're not doing it. It's here. Just take our word for it. It's fine.
Promise.
Yeah, it's here. It's here. We're the government. Will we lie to you? Come on. No, it's there. Too real? Too real. All right.
Drunar, if an injected Avcoat heat shield is too labor-intensive to make today, why can't it be done with a 5-axis CNC manipulator like tile pin placements?
That's my question. The reasoning for going for a blocked Avcoat heat shield on Orion was because there was no industrial base for building a fiberglass honeycomb injected Avcoat injected heat shield with a stainless steel backing plate. There was no industry for it, because we haven't gone to the moon in 50 years. Dude, it's so silly to me. It's so silly to me. And I'm not trying to second guess NASA here, right? But immediately second guesses NASA. There's no industry for it. How silly would that sound if the Apollo engineers said that? Yeah, there's really no industry for, lunar heat shields. So we don't really, that we're not going to do that. No, make the industry. That's NASA's job. That is your job, to make technologies that will find their way into the commercial market. There's no industry. There's no industry. Nothing. No, there's nothing. It's like, okay, all right. Just come on. They
Yeah.
decided to go with the blocked Avcode heat shield on Orion because there was an industry for it. We have we have experience doing that, but we don't. Like the blocked heat shields that we use for like Curiosity and Perseverance that they cited as having experience in are made out of pica. They're made out of phenolic impregnated carbon ablator. Give me a freaking break, guys. Come on, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a pet peeve. Come on, man.
You can tell
change it
EJ
out.
feels
It's
very
flown.
passionate about this topic.
Dude, they changed the design after they flew a test flight. Not like an iterative change. They erased the blackboard and said, "No, we'll do something completely different, and then we'll test it on the next flight, and it'll go fine, and then we'll put people on the next flight." Like, dude, that's like huge red flag. Like huge red flag. Just never mind.
Oh boy.
It's
Let
fine.
me move on before EJ
Next,
explodes.
Go. Yeah, I'm gonna blow a gasket over here.
Well, as the car guy, you know how to fix that.
Yeah, in my rebuilt engine block.
Methane Man saying, I want to fly in a submarine battleship like Star Blazers. Nice. Tyler
Nice.
W., I see your question. I'm going to save that for when we get to New Glenn because it is a fantastic question, but I want to save it for when we get to that. Telstar 86, a paper airplane on the ISS is a space plane.
Touche.
Well done.
Wow.
Laser Tech 02
Wow.
gifting 10 Red Team memberships, and Bideford with the $50 super chat saying for our old, in all caps, buddy, Jack, that's hanging around in chat. Lots
Who?
of humor tonight. Thanks.
Yeah.
Right,
Who?
Elk, exactly.
Who's that?
Yeah,
don't
I
know
have
who
no
that is.
idea.
Huh.
Don't know. I don't know.
Never
But
heard
they
of
also asked what our favorite popsicle flavors are for some reason. So,
Grape.
grape.
It's my favorite crayon flavor too.
Amazing. That's incredible, EJ.
Huh?
What?
Nothing.
Huh?
Okay.
Don't eat crayons. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't
Do not
maybe-
try this at home.
I mean, you shouldn't eat crayons, but what you should do is check out the shop at shop.nasaspaceport.com because
Oh my God,
we're
here it
getting
comes.
into the holiday season.
Oh my gosh.
And now, hopefully soon available, the D-Shock face shirt.
Why are we doing this?
All I know is that.
Oh,
that
please.
Oh
All
my
I know is
God.
that needs to be an emote now in the
Oh
NSF
no.
members
Yes.
No,
Discord.
we really
Yes.
don't need that.
Yes, we do. The world needs that. Yes.
Yep.
What you
Dude,
do
this is
need,
happening.
though, what you also need for sure are the new designs that we have out for our holiday sweaters. We've got one of them that is the all of the crew with Crew Dragon on there. You've got looks like 39A on the front with all the palm trees, and then on the back there's still palm trees, but you've got the recovery, and then of course you've got the drone ship coming back in. And we had a whole debate on this when we were first introduced to these designs. Is the back of that shape Florida? Is it California? First off, we also have the Starship design here too, of course, coming in for the tower, coming in for the catch, all the awesome designs on that. We've even fixed the engines. We heard last time. If you check out the engines on Starship Reentry, they are actually in the correct order this time. So we made sure all the details are right on this one. They are amazing. I love the design on this. They are indeed the knitted design too. So it's not some, cheap crud put together. It's actual knitted. It's really warm. It's really nice. I love it. And
Are those-
they have been worked really hard on for this.
Are those
Also,
Starship pants?
Take a look
Yes.
at this.
Pajamas.
Oh my gosh. This is my
Super
first
heavy
time seeing
pajama
these.
pants.
That's incredible.
This is my first time seeing them too,
Wow.
and I absolutely love it. Oh my god,
It
keep
even
your
has
leg
the-
warm with 15 engines on each side, or 16 and 17, whatever 33 adds up to. I don't do math, okay?
66.
Yeah, and then of course
No, he's a
the
theater
pajama
kid. He
pants.
doesn't do math.
Oh, yeah, you know what? You're
Exactly.
right.
Thank you. Yes. Also,
I got you.
keep yourself as warm as the steel on the outside of Starship with the thermal protection blanket pajama pants as
I need
well.
some of those for my head.
And it's worth It's worth pointing out that these are not just kind of designs. These are from real photos. These are actual photos that NSF has taken and have been
Yeah.
applied into these designs. You can see there's some of the scuff and some of the dirt and things on it. That's from the actual photo. Take a look at that. And that is even a tree skirt for the thermal protection system. Protect your floor, except this time not from thermal, but from falling pine needles. So
I didn't even know we had this.
I didn't
That's
either.
good. I
I
like
need
that.
one of those.
That's incredible.
That's pretty good. That's pretty funny.
yeah, we have a whole holiday section where you'll find all of this. You'll also find all of the puzzles that we have there now. We have 1,000-piece puzzles that you can do. I know a lot of people that have been excited about those. They are so much fun.
I'm sorry.
We got the
pretty
VAB,
funny.
we've got ones for New Glenn, we've got a whole bunch of different ones in there. And of course, Shuttle, because Shuttle. But
It's pretty
yeah.
funny.
Fun fact, that is my first time also seeing the pajama pants and the tree skirt too.
Just mic drop.
I love it. Of course, this is all pinned at the top of the chat, so you can go check them out. Max, you've even got you got the water bottle today, right?
I do. It's actually my first time using
The
it.
tumbler.
I just got this maybe a week ago, and I'm finally using it.
There we go. See, we actually use our own merch, and of course, the job face.
I love this. That's incredible. It's you know what?
Why?
This whenever we do end up emoting this, it should be named the DWise jump scare.
Oh boy.
Wait, Kevin, where's the link to the shirt?
Oh my god.
My face when your capsule gets hit by space debris and you realize that you're going to be stuck in space longer, and now with a damaged capsule. That's what the caption should be for that, because that's our next topic. China having issues with their space station. A capsule is back on Earth, but not with people now. D, you want to take this one?
Yeah, so this is an interesting situation here. So the Shenzhou 20 crew launched to the Tiangong space station early this year, back in April, actually. And they were originally slated to have their return a bit earlier this month, on the 5th. But as that date slowly approached, it was reported that there was some damage to the capsule as a result of space debris. So specifically, that was the windows, which apparently had some cracks caused by said debris. Obviously, that's not a great situation, so everyone was sort of waiting to see what the solution there was. And the solution ended up being having those crew members return on Shenzhou 21, which conveniently arrived just towards the end of last month. But the sort of confusing thing there is that that capsule had a crew of its own that it brought to the space station. So now they're waiting for their capsule to return, which will be the Shenzhou 22. That will launch for the crew members whose capsule brought back a different crew. So here we go. I believe that is the docking for Shenzhou 21. You can see there. So this is a really interesting situation, and it has a lot of people talking about. I mean, we had an astronaut stranded situation last year. This is a little bit more like that situation this time around, wouldn't you say, Sawyer?
I mean, yeah, that's the question that I was thinking when I wrote the title in the document. Are these astronauts stranded now too? Because tell me this doesn't sound familiar. You get up there, you find out your spacecraft has a problem, so you dock, and then you realize, maybe we should bring the crew home in this, so let's send the other capsule back. And yeah, we'll leave the other one up, I guess, as an emergency, so if they need to come home, they technically have something? Huh, I don't know, that doesn't sound familiar at all, Starliner. But yeah, I mean, it's got to be nervous to be up there and be like, hey, so the only spacecraft that we have up here is one that's probably damaged. They don't have another one ready, and the reason they sent the other crew home back at this point already is because their station is not meant for 6 people. It's meant for 6 people, just enough to have a handover, share some chicken wings in space. As you see, they cooked those. And then also I think there was some pepper steak they also made. And then, yeah, have the other crew come back. So when you don't have the commodities for 3 people, you now don't have a guaranteed safe spacecraft for those 3 people. That sounds like a scary situation.
Yeah, and so I feel like everyone was saying that the Starliner astronauts were stranded in space last year. Or at least those were the headlines that everyone was reading. But it really feels like when you compare the two situations, they really weren't stranded. I mean, we talked so much about it last year that it was out of an abundance of caution. And, Starliner did in fact return. It made a safe landing. And so had they been in the capsule, everything would have been fine. But it was that abundance of caution. Now we don't quite yet know. They have the Shenzhou 20 still up there with its cracks. So perhaps everything would be fine in an emergency return, but it feels a whole lot more drastic to be waiting for a spacecraft to arrive versus the ability that the ISS had with sort of shuffling seats around in one of the crew dragons with makeshift seats as the emergency with a new crew dragon on the way with the right number of crew members to accommodate the extra crew.
So Max, if you're in this situation, you're up there, do you feel comfortable at that point of, hey, if I need to come back in an emergency, my spacecraft may have a crack in the windshield?
No. I think the simple one word answer to that is no. If you have a crack in any surface that could be as sensitive as a window could be, even though it is probably a multi-layered design, no, that is not one of the areas I would want to play around with. It's the same with the hatch seals. It's the same with anything to do with the actual pressure vessel itself. If there's any potential immediate threat to the pressure vessel inside, no, I would not feel safe at all. If there was some risk with the heat shield or one of the thrusters was sort of acting up, not shut down completely, but not behaving the way it was supposed to really, but you have backup thrusters, those are areas I would feel comfortable-ish perhaps exercising, but having a potentially cracked window, no, I would not. Absolutely not.
Chad, I'm interested in your thoughts on this. I mean, obviously they're going to try and do what's best, but we don't know the extent of the damage as well. And it's worth pointing out the irony of this. They did a whole bunch of spacewalks on from the crew of Shenzhou 20 that came up on it, at least. Most of those spacewalks were to add more debris cladding to the outside of the station to protect it from things like this. And sure enough, it goes and dings one of the spacecraft on the way up instead. I mean, do we even know? I mean, they're claiming that it was some sort of potential space debris or satellite debris or something like that. EJ, what are even the odds of that?
So micrometeorite and orbital debris, or MMOD for short, is always a risk. There's always something. There's a lot. Space is, as the name implies, there is a lot of space, but that doesn't mean that space is empty necessarily. I mean, the vast majority of it is, but space is a lot more dirty than kind of what you think. There's pieces of dust, there's ice, there's all kinds of stuff. Nuts, bolts, a glove. Seriously, there's a glove orbiting up there. I mean, it may have re-entered by now. That was, 1962, but there's a toolbox up there. We know there's a toolbox floating around from an ISS mission. There's all kinds of stuff up there. Satellite debris. I mean, I think Sawyer, it happens. It happens a lot, dude. Like, this is something that, I mean, it happened to the shuttle too. The shuttle's radiators took hits every flight. This stuff happens, and it's not. It's interesting because it's not to say that China isn't prepared for it. Like you said, they've put cladding and stuff on the space station to protect it and whatnot. But also at the same time, you're always going to get unknown unknowns with spaceflight. It's always going to sting you in a way that you're not expecting. I think it's what's important for the Chinese space program at this point, because there's people involved here. Like, obviously they're taking it seriously. They really got to prove if it actually is MMOD, because they said it took a hit, and then they said it caused a coolant leak, if memory is serving me right. Now, Soyuz, which is very similar, it's a distant cousin of the Chinese spacecraft Shenzhou. It's a distant cousin of it, but they're still from the same family tree. A Soyuz up on the ISS had that same problem. It had a huge coolant leak and spewed coolant all over the back of the ISS a couple of years ago. So is this a spacecraft problem? Is it a debris problem? Is it something with that legacy system that maybe it's Soyuz derived, not shuttle derived for a change? MMOD does happen, but I'd be more curious to see if it's the spacecraft at this point, because a spacecraft of similar design had the exact same problem at a different space station. MMOD sounds convenient to me at that point. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, it's debris.
You know what, EJ? That's actually a really good point to bring up, because it's also worth mentioning that anything we really hear out of China at all is a very carefully controlled, and it's the narrative is carefully controlled, and the information that comes out is incredibly looked after, in that it must favor China or the Chinese narrative in whatever way they possibly can, because that's just the way it runs over there. Unfortunately, they have a very controlled news media outlet and program. It's not like here in the U.S. where there's a free market. We have the freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want, right or wrong. That's not the way it is in China. Everything that is reported, everything that comes out, everything that the outside world hears about is carefully controlled and filtered. So, like you were saying, that is rather convenient to say that when you were having multiple issues with your spacecraft. That is the most convenient explanation to run to. Could it still be true? Absolutely. And but that doesn't take away the suspicions I have, really, of almost everything I hear coming out of China, whether it be towards their military, whether it be towards their space program, or really any front. It is convenient. I think that is probably the best word for it. And I think you had it said best.
And that's not. I'm not trying to say that like information is curated. I mean, that is definitely a point. Look, it's on those Chinese engineers over there to figure out what the problem is. Mm-hmm. If you can't figure out what's the root cause of why that craft's spewing coolant all over the place, kiss your lunar aspirations goodbye. I'm not trying to be like, oh, China, information's cured. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say they got to figure it out. You got to figure out exactly what that is. If you're going to move people near the moon with this thing, and you're not prepared for an unknown like this in Leo, oh man, you got some learning to do, and hopefully it doesn't come like our learning did with Apollo 1. You know what I mean? You got to figure this stuff out. That's really important. You got to figure out exactly what caused it. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they're just like, oh yeah, it's debris, and maybe there's a problem with the spacecraft. Maybe they got it figured out. Who knows? I mean, they clearly launched the other one. They put the other one up there. If there's a problem with the spacecraft, if it's a problem with spacecraft design, they launched another one, so maybe it's not. Who knows? It's just the root cause of this really should be well understood before you conduct more human space flight. That's the point that I was getting at.
Yeah.
I did not think you were going to say the word aspirations. Just saying.
What's that?
You said lunar aspirations. I did not think that word was going to continue onward.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah,
like
that's why
words.
I know you. That's why I said that.
Hey, why use big words when few do trick?
But wasn't that also one of Russia's excuses? Was they also had MMOD on one of those leaks? So you point out the familiarity of the whole, leaking system, but now both are claiming the same thing. Both of these countries that both have.
Yeah, that's awfully convenient, dude. I mean. Coincidences don't happen in spaceflight. Everything happens for a reason. Like I said, there are unknown unknowns, right? But what's the odds of the exact same system failing in the exact same way on two different spacecraft that are derived from each other on two different stations? Well, come on now.
I'll also add in. I mean, we were talking earlier about just the amount of debris that is out there. You were talking about the tool bag, and whether it's the anti-satellite tests, because I believe we had seen it was a while ago at this point, but like there's a lot of stuff in space at this point. The amount of debris up there of varying sizes is only continuing to increase, whether that's second or third stages of rockets or satellites, or I mean, there are tons of different pieces of debris, and we're not able to track all of it when we get to those micrometeorite sizes, like we can't keep track of those things, and they're traveling fast enough relative to stations and satellites that when they hit, they're going to cause a lot of damage. So that could also be the case. It could also be the case that perhaps these systems aren't as well protected as they should be from micrometeorites, but it could also I feel like there's a little bit of a middle ground there, perhaps.
Yeah, but the same thing happened to the same spacecraft. Same exact thing.
Coincidence? I think not. Exactly.
I get the reference, Sawyer. I get the reference.
Thank you. A lot of people are saying, wouldn't it be ironic if the debris was from a satellite that China blew up in their anti-satellite missile test? Yeah, China's created a lot of their own space debris. That's for sure. They thought,
Clip
hey,
that. Clip that.
Yeah, that's the reaction. Hey, let's test blowing up a satellite to see what happens. Oh, it causes a bunch of debris? Shock face.
Oh my gosh.
It's a valid reaction.
D face. Wait, no.
Andy Bell saying Crew Dragon to save the stranded astronauts, laughing emoji. I know it's meant as a joke, but legitimate. Is that something where if it gets that bad, that SpaceX would jump in? Because obviously NASA can't. They have a whole thing with the federal government that says no helping China.
Yeah. And also the spacecraft are not even remotely comparable. The docking adapters, I think, are way different. The spacecraft or their space station and Dragon would not be able to talk to each other unless there is a major overhaul of the software. There's a lot going against it. Impossible? No, SpaceX does not do impossible. They turn impossible into late, but that would require a lot of work, and that would also require time that they may or may not have. So I don't think so, honestly.
I mean, I guess the question would more be, would they launch a Soyuz if they needed to, if it was ready to come in for the recovery? I feel like those are more compatible, like you were talking about, EJ. I mean, the systems are extremely similar.
Dude, I don't think we'd see a Soyuz fly there. Yeah, the systems are similar, dude. So if Soyuz isn't having problems and it is MMOD, I mean, China does this thing that we should probably do. It's called having a hardware-rich space program. If you figure out for sure that it's not a spacecraft problem, just launch another one. Just launch another. What do they not have an assembly line cranking out Shenzhou capsules? I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure we showed the B-roll of it a second ago. What, do they not have another one? What can they not just make another one? It's China in 2025. They could make 1,000 of them, like really, really quickly. I'm not worried.
True, very true. And yeah, I'm pretty sure they use we mentioned the back channel that they use the international docking standard.
I was going to correct that before you stepped in. Yeah, so they use a variant of the APAS, which is also now used by both the U.S. and Russia on the ISS. So yes, they do. Correction.
And that's the active passive adapter system.
Androgynous peripheral attachment system, dude.
Close enough.
Yeah, it was an attempt. You're fine.
A for effort.
Yeah. Let's see here. Sam, I'm going to save your question as well for once we get into Newglands, which we will get to momentarily. But Rosebud53 coming in with a $20 tip at tips.nasaspaceflight.com. We appreciate you taking the extra effort in doing so. It helps cut out some of the middlemen to make sure your support does go directly to us. Saying, thanks, Max, for participating in the Flame Trench. Very helpful transition from Jax moving on. Hope you have the time to stick around.
I don't plan on going anywhere, so I'll be here.
Yeah, he's even got a beard too, chat.
And bald.
And bald.
I didn't say that.
I'm not taking off my hat to show you, but I am bald.
I mean, I didn't say that. I just said a beard. That's all.
Yeah. We're getting there on the... It's weird. The hair kind of evens out because you've got Max with bald, EJ, D with the very
Wow.
long hair, and then me on the shorter end. They kind of even out. The bald versus the long hair kind of goes to a normal or a medium length hair when you combine them all. I don't know. Just thinking.
EJ with the EJ.
EJ
Well, I'm
doing
trying to be
EJ
nice.
things.
Problem is, I'm from New York. He's from Massachusetts. We've known each other long enough that we give each other crud. The things that I could say.
Jets, jet. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Case in
See?
point. I'll go ahead with your other one too.
No, that was
About the
that's it.
Yankees.
Oh, da Yankees lose.
There you
So
go.
did Toronto though. So, oops.
So yeah, just was waiting for that. Thanks. Yeah, just rub it in. Why don't you? Every Sunday, I got to deal with watching them, or in this case, Thursday. But every Monday, you can get updated on the latest space news and everything going on with the Rocket Recap newsletter. What, you don't like that one?
No, I'm sorry. It's just funny. It just makes me laugh.
I used to be a TV news producer. Part of it was literally coming up with transitions between stories and teases for the next thing. So I've gotten into that, and you can get some teases of all the launches and things that are coming up inside the Rocket Recap newsletter. Comes out once a week. We give you all the information you need to know about things going on in spaceflight, where our streams will be. We have some cool behind-the-scenes stuff in there with interviews with team members. Lots of great information in there. Occasionally, some store information and store discounts, so you got to subscribe and see when those pop up. Lots of cool information inside of it. In the Rocket Recap, check that out. Maybe throw in some D Shock face in there.
It's the best.
Oh,
it's the best
my.
shirt ever.
It really is. I absolutely want it. And in case you're wondering, by the way,
Ooh.
talk about rapid shipping. Almost like in the last 20 minutes, Das was able to get the pajama pants. Now, Das has had the thermal protection system pajama pants. This is an actual photo of Das wearing them, and apparently says they are extremely comfy. And Pixar it didn't happen.
Oh my gosh. I feel obligated now that I'm getting the shock face to call out the cable management in the background, and also I'm sorry, DOS.
No, you're not. You're not sorry at all.
Are you able to zoom in on that, Kevin? Just into by his foot there. That's some
Uh-oh, DOS is typing.
wires.
Oh
DOS
no.
is typing. Oh no.
Anyway. That's what they look like in real world applications, folks. So that's all in the shop. Again, in that holiday section, we've got it all curated for you. One-stop shopping. Now, speaking of one-stop shopping, you've got 3 people.
Oh, there we
that were
go.
there for New
There are those cables in
yep.
the
There's that
background.
cable
I'm so sorry, DOS.
What a mess.
Nice succulents, though. See those
Yes.
plants?
Yes.
Look, very nice plants.
Yep.
Also, did you know that New Glenn planted the landing on top of Jacqueline on the drone ship?
Oh my
Beautiful.
God.
It's a blessing and a curse, folks, to have this kind of.
You know what,
quickness.
Sawyer? Actually, that could work because, we'll get into that. Okay.
Well, let's get into it then. It's all
Let's get into it. So, finally, as we appropriately say, with a boat going right in front of the frame there, after a very long and, dare I say, tumultuous start to the week, New Glenn has finally launched for its second time, carrying the Escapade. Oh my God, PTSD every single freaking time, Kevin. Oh my God. Every time.
Don't lose your cool, man.
Launched
Keep it
the
classy. Keep
Escapade
it classy.
Blue and gold for NASA from LC-36 just yesterday afternoon at 3:55 p.m. local time. So we finally got a daytime New Glenn launch, and from what we could tell visually, everything went perfect. The launch looked spectacular. There was no clouds in the sky, so the visuals were amazing. And from what we could tell, it also got off the pad perhaps a little bit faster than Flight 1. So maybe there's some more to dive into as to why that happened. But regardless, it behaved flawlessly. The first stage performed exactly as expected. All 7 BE4s performed well. Stage separation went very smooth, and the BE3Us on the upper stage performed rather good, which is great because it seemed like, based on a video that Jeff Bezos posted, they had to do a bit of gimbaling correction there after stage sep, which is normal. Not every spacecraft separates exactly straight. but every bit of the flight went well. And following stage separation, that first stage booster came right back through the atmosphere, performed its brace for it, exo-atmospheric deceleration burn with three of its seven BE4s firing. So it's similar to what a Falcon 9 does for its entry burn. To slow itself down so it can re-enter the atmosphere at a speed where it can tolerate the thermal conditions that it generates. That went well, and then we saw it flying through the atmosphere, dropping speed like crazy. And then for the moment of truth, we saw a 3-engine initial landing burn and down to 1. And from some of the very jumpy footage that we saw, it seemed like they were pretty off target, and then they kind of walked the booster back over onto the deck of Jacqueline under a single BE4, the one in the very center here of the 7, and stuck the landing a direct bullseye. So finally, we finally have a second U.S. aerospace manufacturer who has landed an orbital first-class booster and landed it with absolute style. I think D and I were going absolutely nuts. Here's some footage of the entry burn here. You can see the line of 3 BE4s of the 7 there, and there's the shutdown. Oh my, it was glorious. I think this tracking footage was from the WB-57 imaging aircraft that NASA had up for this mission, stationed very far southeast of Florida. And we were all on the pier over at Jetty Park after that cruise ship had finally gone away. We were all crowded around the screen. We saw this exact moment. We saw 3 engines light, and we were just collectively like losing our minds as the feed jumped in and out. As we were like, like as it got closer, it was phenomenal. And we actually got onboards too. My word. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, beyond, of course, moving back up to the upper stage, that performed flawlessly. They had a good Seco, and then they had a good second relight, and then deployed both blue and gold Escapade satellites at about T plus 33 minutes into the flight, and they separated well. But yeah, this screen grab is what really got us. And then we jump right to this, where we see it hovering exactly over the deck when we thought they may have lost it. And then it was just pandemonium over on the pier. I mean, we were all losing our absolute minds. It was a full-on Flight 5 moment because that was a first. Nobody except SpaceX to this point has recovered an orbital-class first-stage booster with Falcon 9 or Starship, even though Starship hasn't technically been to orbit yet. But they nailed it on only their second launch, and we can see the flashes there, which what we surmise are sort of harpoons digging themselves into the decks explosively to secure it to the deck to make sure it doesn't fall over or rock around. So, and that's actually what I was going to get back to you with on Sawyer, because you said that they planted it on the deck of Jacqueline, and maybe those harpoons were the roots of the plant going into the soil. I don't know. That's reaching. I know that's reaching.
Don't do that. Don't. No.
I know it's reaching.
This.
It's reaching.
It's not reaching. It's harpooning.
Oh my God.
If you're gonna stick around here, don't do that.
Wow.
Oh, CJ with no filter today. I love it. Yeah. What else more is there to say? I mean, I would love to hear everyone else's thoughts, but this was an absolutely incredible moment. Certainly one that I will not long forget. And we still have to have the first stage booster come back into port. Like, there's still more to come.
I'm so excited. That's gonna be so cool to see. Like we've seen Jacqueline, we've seen boosters. We're getting to see him with the landing legs deployed. So here, you're gonna get to see me be very sad about this cruise ship. I'm definitely not taking a Carnival cruise anytime soon here.
Not to name drop.
But there you can see the pilot boat for the cruise ship on its way. So I'm so thankful that we at least got it clearing the pad before there goes the cruise ship right in the way. That like hurt my soul. So it was like Kevin doing a great job when a significant portion of cameras entirely lost view. And the thing is, we knew that this was a strong possibility from the time this T0 was announced. We were like, looking at the cruise ship and port schedule, and we were like, wait, it leaves, I think it was like 10 minutes before. Well, that might not be enough time. And we were watching as it just got closer and closer and closer, and getting more and more scared that it was going to line up. And then sure enough, it did line up. But we had it just long enough before the cruise ship there that we got it clearing the pad, and then we were able to reacquire it in the sky. Now, last time around, it was a night launch, so we couldn't see too much, and it was also cloudy. So we had the really cool shots of the illumination, like going through the clouds and this expanding circle, but then we were kind of just looking at the dot in the distance. With this, we were seeing everything. It is such a massive rocket, and I've said this before, but we were able to see stage separation clearly. We were able to see main engine cutoff very clearly. In the bottom left shot there, once we get to it, you can see the individual engines as they shut off. And so I think I was tracking for 7.5 minutes after liftoff, up until we already had the reentry burn, which you can see it in Blue's video, which they have that perfect shot. Like, it's really, really dim. You can just see the little bits of plasma. You can see the glow of the engines there, but it's incredibly dim, and we were able to see that from the ground. And as you can see, there are so many people crowded out there on the pier. We were surrounded by other photographers, people just out to enjoy the time, people who traveled down there, and Blue employees. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Launches feel way more impactful when you're getting to watch them with people who worked on the thing you're seeing fly. This is the ultimate achievement of success for an incredible amount of work that they've put into it. Like, we know what it's like when we have a launch like this one that scrubs, that delays, we've set up several times, and then it finally launches and we get to see it. It's finally there. And for them, they've been working on this for whether it's months, whether it's years, and this time around, they got a landing. It gets to maybe fly again. Like, that's such a huge success, and we're about to get to the fairing step here. So there you go. You can see those separating in that bottom left view. Like, gonna continue on booster. I don't even know what else to say. I was really lost for words. If we end up pulling the clip of the reaction there, you can see everyone is just shouting and celebrating. And Max, I think you can attest that the celebration at the end there really felt like a Flight 5 Starship moment.
It did.
Weren't sure what to expect. Now, I will say, I know on Flame Trench, I think I gave it an 80% chance of landing, but that didn't impact my excitement in any negative way once it actually did land. We had that moment where it was off to the side. I'm sure we're going to take more look at the landing here shortly, but they had, I think it was an onboard, then they had a drone view. How close are we? And then we saw Jacqueline in the drone view, and we saw like the exhaust hitting the water off to the side. And then the feed was like frozen for a second, which clearly was from dust and exhaust blocking, I believe it's like 6 different Starlinks on there to provide that connection. Like, no internet system is infallible. And so they had those live feeds, and we knew it looked like it was hovering off to the side of the ship. And as much as we've talked about New Glenn being able to do a New Shepard-like landing and them having the control, not anything like SpaceX's where they try to reach zero speed as they reach the deck of the ship. So like we knew that they could do it, but we also, I don't think any of us were fully prepared to see that happen and see just how far off to the side it was. It was like 200 something feet off to the side of the barge.
Yeah.
Which that makes a ton of sense. You got to protect your ocean assets. Like they need to make sure that Jacqueline can support future landings. They want to make sure they have full control of the vehicle. Here we go. Like you can see it's
The
coming
feed
down.
cuts
It's
out.
exciting.
Yeah.
We see the feet come out. We're cheering there. Something's
it's just
happening,
like,
and it's gone. What's happening?
Yeah.
And we were all like, what?
And then this is the screen grab where we were all like, oh my god, and then it's just and then it cuts
we
right
were
to this,
there.
and we're all just like losing our minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I was in the like longest run-on sentence ever, but we were just screaming, and I think you can probably hear my voice is a little bit shot just from the incredible celebration of that exact moment.
It was right afterwards. I can confirm.
Yeah. At that moment where I screamed, "Oh no!" as soon as I saw it off to the side in the feed freeze. I was waiting for it to come back with a giant, earth-shattering kaboom with like a Ship 36 type explosion, and all of a sudden I just kept screaming, "They did it! They did it! They did it!" It was unbelievable. And
Speaking of people screaming,
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Hi, Kevin.
Come on,
My heart is absolutely racing. Come on, landing burn.
Oh.
You've got this, New Glenn. Through the clouds.
It's most excited I've ever heard Ryan ever.
Standing
wait,
by
it
for
gets better.
reignition. There's the reignition of the BE4 engines. Oh my goodness. It's coming back through the clouds. Through the clouds. Let's see if we can go on board with Jacqueline. On board with the booster. Where's Jacqueline? There's the ocean. There's the landing legs.
There's the ocean.
But where is Jacqueline? There it is. There is Jacqueline. Oh, it looks like we're slightly off target. It looks like we're slightly off target. And it looks like we have gotten a splashdown of New Glenn 2. Or is it on the deck? It was hovering. It's on the deck. They've done it. Blue Origin have done it. Oh my goodness. On the second attempt, on the second time of asking, Blue Origin, New Glenn is on the deck of Jacqueline.
That was surreal. That was such a weird landing burn, but it worked.
They absolutely nailed it. Very reminiscent of what they do with New Shepard, where it kind of goes off center a little bit, corrects itself, and touches down. Got a little nervous. It was gonna be a splashdown, but wow!
It looked off center. They basically did a New Shepard landing, but at an enormous scale
I know a bunch of
on
people in that
Jacqueline.
picture.
And New Glenn Stage 1 is vertical on the drone ship. They've only gone and done it.
I had not heard this commentary yet.
So good. It's actually pretty good.
That's
Where's
great.
Jacqueline? That's awesome.
Yeah, that was great. There's Jacqueline.
Dude,
I saw someone say that needs to be on some merch eventually.
Where's Jacqueline?
Where's Jacqueline?
Where's Jacqueline? Dude, Ryan, for what it's worth, I know you're out there in chat. For what it's worth, on my stream, I was like, no, that's going in the drink, and then it didn't, and I went when I saw it landed on the ship. I was like, oh, that's awesome. You know?
I mean,
I thought
EJ,
it was going in the drink, dude.
I think we all did because we saw how far off of the barge it was targeting. But that actually brings me to a good point that Jeff Bezos actually tweeted a video from wherever he was watching from, and the booster was well off. It was aiming like well off the deck of Jacqueline by like hundreds of feet. And in that post, he said that they intentionally did that so that in the event that they lost an engine or two or all of them, that it would fall into the water and not right into Jacqueline, because right now they only have one Jacqueline. They only have one drone ship. If they lose that drone ship, that sets them back quite a while. So, and it looks just like New Shepard. Shocker, I know, but it looks just like New Shepard, targeting way off center and then and then cutting to one engine, and under a single BE Force TVC, it's able to walk itself hundreds of feet over the deck. Remarkable control authority. Like, Falcon can't do this. Starship can do this because it has multiple engines and it weighs a lot more. But good God, that's insane. Looks incredible.
And look at the way the smoke has just totally enveloped all of Jacqueline. There's not a ship there, it's just a plume of smoke as it clears.
Good Lord. Amazing.
You know, I was talking about this with people over on Twitch. I stream on Twitch, guys, for what it's worth. And, you know, somebody asked me, like, isn't that super inefficient to have the booster just sit there and slew like that? And the answer is yes. I mean, Max, you said Falcon 9 couldn't do this. Falcon 9 can't do this because it doesn't need to. It's designed to just literally plop right down and go. Yeah. It does the hover slam, right?
Yep.
You know, but here's the thing. Is that a terribly inefficient way of doing that? Are you incurring a ridiculous grav loss sitting there hovering a booster of that size? Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, you guys said it a second ago. I think D, you said it, or was it, sorry, you guys, there's only one drone ship. So you really want to stick that landing. You do not want to screw that up. Also, what was the goal of this? The goal was to get that booster back. That's the goal here. Who cares if it hovers? You have the margins. The Escapade satellites are tiny for this rocket. They're little. They're a little guy. You have the margins to do it. If you have the margins to do it, who cares if it's inefficient? Who cares? They got the booster back. That don't matter. You know,
I think that's a great point.
Yeah, the first Falcon 9 landings weren't efficient. Like, a lot of them crashed. I'm just saying, like, it's not a slight toward SpaceX, and this isn't a slight toward Blue. Yeah, it's really inefficient, but what the whole point was to get the thing back, and they did. So I'm just putting it out there. And Jeff Bezos said he posted on X that they will. This was really conservative parameters. Like they really had it run away from that drone ship and then move in. They'll dial it in over time.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And Jeff also said that too. Like they were being very conservative. Go ahead, D.
Yep. Like that's it.
As long as they have the fuel margins to deliver the spacecraft to the orbit, there's no harm in hovering at that point. Like Falcon 9 can't hover based on the minimum thrust that they have and the weight or the mass that it has when it goes for landing. So that's the reason they have the burn for Falcon 9 quite like that. But here, for any, you can think about any Falcon 9 mission where they have the extra margin to do an RTLS. They aren't pushing the bounds on those missions. If they have the extra margin, that they get to use a stubby nozzle on the second stage and everyone celebrates. Like, there are plenty of missions where Falcon 9 has extra margin. And so it's only, I guess you could say, a concern that it's inefficient for the missions that would really push New Glenn to its limits, whether that is orbit-wise, payload mass-wise. It's only for those that the efficiency of the landing burn really matters. Over time, of course, they will continue to improve, but they got it. And they delivered Escapade.
Yep.
Like, what's there to complain about? Why
Nothing.
does it matter that it hovers? If they can save a booster by hovering and avoiding a splashdown, that's awesome. Think about how much money they've just saved by not losing that booster into the water. I don't know.
Oh, there's Max's reaction. This is great. This is good.
It's a roller coaster.
Come on, Jacqueline views, come on! Oh, Where's the boat? 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 Where's Jacqueline?
In other words, Jacqueline.
You can hover, you can come back, you can hover.
Shout out to Max. You were the one to jump in there. It can hover, it can hover.
They did it!
and I think everyone in chat is just enjoying the reaction here, but like the atmosphere that you get in the day of when you're just surrounded by all these people celebrating and these kids. I'm so sorry I forget their names, but they stopped by and said hello, and we were able to get them NSF patches and talk about their trip to Florida, which they extended to be able to see this launch. Everyone is just so excited to see more rockets and see more reuse in spaceflight. Like, I don't know. It happened. Everyone can celebrate. What a great moment.
I think.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Dia. With you, Max. Sorry, I think we're all in agreement on this. I know it's a flame trench, and people are expecting me to disagree, but like, no. This is great. I think that, I mean, credit to Blue first and foremost. This is not easy. That's not easy to make that thing do that. Like, efficiency or not in the trajectory, that booster is big. It's not as big as Super Heavy, but it's almost as big as Super Heavy. If you guys look, I do have one of Max's composites of Super Heavy and New Glenn right behind me. And Max, there's a reason why I chose this. It was for this conversation here. I have them behind me. You can see this is more or less to scale.
It is. It is to scale, yes.
It's more or less to scale. That booster is not as big as Super Heavy, but it's almost as big as Super Heavy. So, credit where credit is due to Blue Origin. That's fantastic, right? But also, I think the real more important precedent here that's set is that, look, landing boosters ain't a SpaceX thing anymore. That's an industry thing now. That's what's important here. Every rocket that's landed and come back, prior to yesterday, was that yesterday? That was yesterday. Yeah. Prior to that wasn't a SpaceX rocket. Dumped in the ocean. SpaceX rockets come back. If one company's doing it, it's kind of like, okay. All right. But, cast your mind back to, a couple of years ago, if you follow like electric vehicles, Tesla uses the NECS connector, which is the North American Connector Standard. I think that's the acronym for it. It's the plug that Tesla's used to charge. Up until a couple of years ago, everybody had a different plug. Ford had a different plug for their car. Chevy had a different plug for their car. And then, if one person is doing it, one company's doing it, it's kind of their own thing, et cetera, et cetera. But then Ford decided to adopt the same plug that Teslas use. And then everybody else did after that. That's an industry trend. That's a trend. Blue being able to land an orbital class booster out on a drone ship, out on Jacqueline. Where's Jacqueline? Sorry, Ryan. Blue being able to do this shows that it's not just a thing that a company is doing. This is a market trend for commercial launch vehicles. And guess what? I'm here for it. If you're making expendable launch vehicles at this point, good luck. Good luck. Good luck. You're going to get left in the dust. You're going to get left in the dust because you'd be out of your mind to think that Blue won't be able to scale this technology.
Yeah.
It's a trend. It's a market trend. It's not. SpaceX has competition. This is a market trend. And guess what? Come next year, Stoke's coming. Relativity is coming. Rocket Lab with Neutron. Relativity with Terranar. Stoke with Nova. Reusability is the future, baby. And guess what? I'm here for it as a shuttle appreciator. I'm here for it. All right?
Amen.
I'm here for it, man.
Yeah.
And also, mind you, this is only their second flight of New Glenn, and they freaking nailed it. Nailed it. Not just with the landing, too. The launch was flawless. And I was doing some back and forth footage comparison between Flight 1 and Flight 2. Flight 2 left the pad a good amount quicker than Flight 1. So was that a payload? Was that a mass thing, or did they do some work on the BE4s to uprate them compared to what they were before? We don't have any official word on that, but Blue did announce. They had a graphic that showed that each BE4 produces about 550,000 pounds of thrust, which is a lot for a singular engine. And so all seven together, it's about 3.8 million pounds of thrust. And that's about the same as Falcon Heavy in a vehicle that's much bigger. So that's why it moves a lot slower, because the thrust to weight ratio just isn't there by comparison to like Falcon or Starship for that matter. But it got the job done, and it did it well. And they're bringing the booster back, and they probably have the option to refly it maybe 2 or 3 or 4 flights down the line. I mean, we don't exactly know what the booster needs in terms of refurb or how extensive that journey is going to be, but they got the booster back. It literally everything worked. Everything worked.
Now, I would say I think they'll definitely have to do a bit of stuff with the landing legs. Now, there's like that patent, and we saw a lot of people were commenting on what looked like the explosions at the end, the method to immediately secure Glenn Stage 1 to Jacqueline. So, like, some work will clearly have to happen there. I'm sure, especially for the first one, they're going to want to inspect. They're going to want to see what things they need to learn. And over time, just like SpaceX has moved to like minimal inspections or engine replacements and everything, like Blue's going to want to have a very thorough understanding of this booster, what it went through, where there's what they need to watch out for, and all of that. Down the line, perhaps not. Maybe they see, wow, this is re-entering really softly. We don't have any major wear points. Maybe they can get some rapid turnaround with these boosters at that point. I for one, can't wait to see it, but I'm not going to let these early reflights and the timeline here dissuade my enthusiasm for how fast it could be in the future.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, here we go. Let's go.
Where's the drone ship?
Dude, I totally called this wrong, and I've never been happier to be wrong.
Landing legs have deployed. Come on, baby. Nope. No good. She's in the water.
No.
Watch.
Oh, wait. Oh, it's That's badass.
Sorry for the language. That's my fault.
That's sick.
It's pretty cool.
It corrected.
It corrected. Where's Jacqueline?
I still like
It corrected.
It's pretty good, man. Dude,
that was
totally
incredible.
Totally threw me. I've never been happier to be wrong about commentary, dude.
Two of my favorite quotes from you now are, "Come on, baby, come on in." From Flight 5, and now,
Flight 5.
oh my God, it corrected! It corrected!
Dude, I'm just calling what I see. It's pretty cool, man.
Come on in!
Come on, dude. I am really happy my mic peaked out and the compressor kicked in because I said some really inappropriate stuff after that, dude. I was like, oh, you big, beautiful thing, you came back. Something along the lines of that.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, I have never been happier to be wrong about commentary, man. Like, I was like, nah, she's in the train. Oh, I'm wrong. Yes, It's freaking impressive, dude. Really cool.
Yeah, I want to give my perspective here too, because I haven't
gotten
to share it yet. So I was a little further south than you guys were. I also didn't have the surroundings of all the other people around me where I was. It was just me on a hotel balcony. But it was fun watching the people on the beach next to me kind of lose their minds at it as well. First off, because I was further out into the ocean a bit more, I didn't have any ships blocking mine, so But yeah, exactly, Max. But yeah, it was unbelievable. I'm glad I was kind of next to a building because hearing the windows rattle like crazy for that one is a surreal experience. The door to the balcony and the windows were shaking like crazy. It was so cool on a 4th story building to experience that. The sound was spectacular. Again, you're so used to either the 9 Merlins or something with solids like Atlas, but this had its own rumble to it, and the rumble kept going for like 5 minutes afterwards, it felt like. And I have to say, seeing this in person, we haven't seen BE4s on their own without solids in daylight before. And at first, yeah, it kind of had the orangish glow off the pad, but then it almost got silver from the naked eye. It went to purple, and then it went to like a silverish gold color as it went higher up. And it is the weirdest thing seeing like the silver sparkle in the sky as it goes. But to be able to see each of those individual 7 engines on such a clear day and just see the power from them, that's something I'll never forget. That is up there now, I think, as one of my all-time favorite launches. I don't know about you two.
Is that your first time seeing a Methalox rocket launch?
Yes, it is.
That's incredible.
I haven't seen any Starships in person except the one that I saw on Flight 11 was from Florida, so you don't get the same effect.
You saw Vulcan, though, didn't you?
Well, yeah. Like I said, though, without having the solids on it.
Yeah,
because
right.
All the Vulcan missions have had solid rocket boosters on them so far.
I can't wait for the day where there's a VC0 if that day ever comes. That's gonna look so pretty.
Oh yeah. But again, to see it at night, that'll be unbelievable. The landing was absolutely spectacular, but yeah, that was something. Now, about the speed you were talking about, Resistojet saying, I still think it lifted off very slowly, especially watching the Atlas launch. Do you think they're still not using the full throttle, given the payload was relatively small?
I think that Jeff said everything we needed to know when he talked about conservative parameters during the landing. If they have conservative parameters during the landing, what's to say that they don't have it for launch?
Especially on a payload that's as light as blue and gold were too.
I mean, I said that during the Flame Trench after the NG1 mission. They're probably borrowing some stuff from Vulcan that probably doesn't get you exactly where you want to be. I mean, the other thing to consider, guys, is that this is a completed vehicle. All right.
Yes.
It's not an iterative prototype. This is a full fidelity flight article. It's not a test article. There's no Blue doesn't do rapid iteration. They don't do that. All right. So if you look at it like that, they're going to start making more of these, right? This exact thing, but through time, they will do slight changes. So something that you might consider is that it might be too heavy. The booster just might be too heavy for the missions that you're trying to do. But with something like Escapade or a test flight, the NG1 mission, that doesn't matter. Who cares? You'll make it lighter over time. I mean, Sawyer, you could speak to this. Columbia was heavy. The shuttle Columbia was heavy. It was a heavy, 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 heavy shuttle. It could not do ISS missions. Not a lot of people know that, right? Like it couldn't do it. Discovery, Atlantis, and Endeavor, much lighter, were the ones that built the ISS. Because Columbia couldn't get there. It couldn't get there because it was the first orbiter. It was the first orbiter. It was heavy because they weren't sure if it was going. I mean, this is going to sound messed up, especially in light of STS-1. They weren't sure, with people on board, they weren't sure if it's going to make it. They were like, all right, test flight, let's go, right? So later versions became lighter over time, right? You're not iterating to a finalized design. You're taking your finalized design and you're dialing it in from there. That's the difference. That's the flip side. That's the flip side of this coin. SpaceX's rapid iteration, rapid prototyping, it gets you a finished thing. Blue Origin starts with a finished thing, and then they'll make changes based off of that. So, it could be engine configurations. Thing just might be too heavy. It might just be too heavy right now. It could be either one. It could be any of these things. It's whatever it is, it's certainly intended, because both of these things have gotten off the pad relatively slow, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were doing the math. This one did seem a little bit faster. I don't know if it was much faster, or maybe talking a couple seconds, if anything. But yeah, I don't know. Also, that's why Endeavor is the best shuttle, because it's the lightest.
Endeavor is based off of Challenger's design. Thank you very much.
And also, going back to the question,
Challenger's the best.
Going back to the question, also comparing anything to a 551 Atlas is just a losing battle. A 551 Atlas is like the quickest accelerating launch vehicle we have, minus a Minuteman. Like that's just. But how often do we see those anymore, right? Except for out of like Vandenberg. But
dude,
yeah,
just a little bit of Sorry, I'm just Max, you're saying good stuff, and I always want to add. I apologize, but like, how ridiculous is it that an Atlas 5 551 shooting off to a geostationary transfer orb, shooting a 6,400 kilogram satellite to a geostationary orbit, yeeting off the pad at like 1.3 TWR was the side course yesterday?
I know, right? And you know what's also
ridiculous?
What's also crazy is that is the first double header we've had without a SpaceX launch vehicle in Florida in like 50 years or more.
Yeah, pretty sure it's from the 60s.
Yes.
Holy crud!
With all the Aeginas and Gemini, basically.
Yep.
So that's wild.
And that was a rather pretty one too. And that was also the first time we've seen Atlas fly at night in like 3 years.
Yep.
Dude, that thing is no joke. It's a great design.
She scoots.
Gonna miss it.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure.
Yep.
Great videos from that. And again, I got to give a shout out to the team killing it out in the field. I feel like we had some great shots. I know I was proud of my shots. D, Max, you feel the same way?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can I
Very
just
happy.
say something about the Atlas?
Yes.
I had all these shots set up, because I like to take a few shots while, cut to a few different shots while it's lifting off. Well, I had no time. There was no time to take any of the shots. That thing was gone.
Yeah.
It was like I took 2 shots and I just had to go to the tracker because it was out of view of every single one of our shots.
I think AJ's just seeing this footage for the first time right now.
I watched the ULA cast and the fire alarm went off on the cast and they stopped commentary. I didn't see you. I haven't seen you guys' footage yet because I went to bed. I was tired. It's a long day yesterday.
Oh, you don't say. You don't say.
You don't say. Dude, what was going on with the SRBs back there?
Okay, so while D and I were tracking this thing uphill, like I think we both noticed this, and we're both making like audible like like as it's going up because we're seeing all of these sparks coming out of the SRBs, and we hadn't noticed that since like Vulcan Flight 2, so that's kind of what it felt like, and we're like, is this normal? But we also haven't really seen SRBs like this fly at night in like 3 years. So,
yeah.
Granted, Vulcan Flight 1, that was at night. Apologies. But SRBs burn rough and dirty. Like, the exhaust particulate isn't just gas. It's also solid particulates flying out of there, too. And it's abrading against the nozzle, too. So it's not a clean burning process.
It's not the first time we've seen that on an Atlas launch. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
EJ,
No,
I
nor
see your
with-
faces.
Nor with Vulcan. I think, we were really thinking back to CERT 2. That's like the next sparkiest SRB that I've seen. And that one wasn't great. But also, we're not super used to seeing Atlases launch with SRBs at night. It's been a long time. We're not getting a ton of Atlases launched. And we're not going to have all that many more. So I forget exactly how long it's been, but years, I believe, since 3 years?
3 years.
Since the last nighttime Atlas launch with SRBs.
That was special.
Look, the SRBs they go at night, etc., etc. I don't remember Atlas's SRBs ever doing that.
It was sparky.
I mean, you said CERT 2 did something like that, and then the nozzle came off.
Yeah.
I mean, that was still shout out. That's one of my favorite captures of yours. That capture is ace. It is perfect. You killed it that day.
I mean, Alex and I were talking about it, though. It's not something we haven't seen. We know that they can do that. Did it look off at the time? Absolutely. Did it make it to orbit? Was Viasat deployed successfully? Absolutely. So, unless they say otherwise, I just want to point that out. So, yeah.
No, I'm not trying to say like the mission failed or anything. It's just, as Tori Bruno would put it, it's just another observation. Observations aren't things you want on flights, guys. You ideally want every flight to be exactly the same, within reason, barring like trajectory differences and whatnot, right? Like that. Those things definitely look like they were coughing up some stuff there. I mean, maybe they're using a different formulation of like ammonium perchlorate. It could be could be different. It could be a different type of SRB or something but yeah, I don't ever remember those things doing that. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Yep.
One thing I do want to observe are these photos that we saw from the New Glenn launch that are up on the store. This isn't a store plug, but if you want to follow along and take a look at the photos up close, you can see them all in the shop. But let's go through some of these shots because, like I was saying earlier, I was beyond proud of my shots. There's more that I want to put in the store, but I think we have plenty already, so I'm not even going to submit it. But this is still one of my favorites from this launch that I've seen anywhere. Max, this was your remote, I believe.
It was one of them, yeah. It was set up at the Hangar C parking lot, which is also a museum with the Space Force. And this camera was set, I would say, probably closer to a mile from no, not a mile, like probably 3/4 of a mile. It was one of 2 locations that Blue Origin and the Space Force allowed us to have cameras at for launch. And I had this idea in mind. I saw some inspiration from Flight 1, and I was like, I wonder if I can do that during daytime. And sure enough, here we go. Flight 2, daytime, try to make it work. Put a camera out, hope it works, and by golly, it worked. Didn't really know exactly. I framed it kind of conservatively, and that this image is cropped in a little bit compared to what the raw is, because I didn't know where the rocket was. Obviously, it's obvious now, but the rocket was to the left of the lighthouse at the bottom of it, and I thought its turnover or its pitch over for its gravity turn was a bit more aggressive than it was, and that it would either be straight over the lighthouse or just off to the right of the lighthouse, but it was still off to the left. So that's why I'm glad. Jeez Louise. I'm glad I framed it conservatively. No, it's been a long week, EJ.
Yeah, I know what you mean, dude.
Yeah, and it was still off to the left, but because it was framed the way it was, there was still some room to play there, and now it's in our store. So
beautiful. And then, of course, the 3-eyed smiley face.
Yes. Yes. Also captured from one of the remote camera locations that Blue allowed us to go at, and this was captured with a very high focal length lens, albeit I wish I had longer. Oh, you always wish you had more focal length. D, I know you know that too. I had somewhat of it was an okay shot from Flight 1. It was at night, it was dark, it was very far away. I wasn't zoomed in enough. But daytime, we knew roughly what we were going to get, and the sun was going to be in the right spot. So everything is lit beautifully from all of our cameras' perspective. So, you can see all 7 BE4s singing away in unison. Many mock diamonds in a gorgeous blue and purple color. Like I didn't expect that. I thought it would be a lot more blue, and I was genuinely worried from where we were observing the launch that the exhaust would blend in a bit too much with the sky, in that it would be a bit tricky to bring out. But as we can see here, methane does burn, for the most part, pretty purple, and it is rather lovely.
And it was indeed lit.
Is that Jack's face?
What? Oh my God!
Kind of got the beard.
You know what? Now you mention it, Kevin, I can see it now.
I
Also,
definitely
who's
see
Jack?
it.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Elk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this one is one of mine from the other one, not the lighthouse remote location. And I have to say, I am so incredibly glad that despite all our frustration in the moment with every little bit of delay, that it moved to just a bit later in the afternoon, because as a result, the sun was lower on the horizon. We were able to get more contrast on the vehicle there, so we really have a shaded side and just, brilliant clarity to the rocket. It's really cool with New Glenn, like, especially during the day, you're not really worried too much about overexposing that flame. It is dim enough, and yet, like Max said, it's still defined enough compared to the sky that if you're exposed for daylight, you've got the flame detail. You're not really losing anything in there. And you can see that frost on the vehicle that was there all the way until after landing. I know some of us were wondering, was that some paint wearing off on the bottom of Don't Never Tell Me the Odds? But no, because of later pictures we've seen, no, that was just frost, and the paint is in fact still there. And so I was really grateful. I didn't really have to do much of a crop. It's always interesting at these locations because there are, I'd say, a rather narrow area where you can really set cameras to have the clear view. And so everyone's crowding together and lining up shots, but despite our cameras, with that spot at least, being within 20 feet of each other for the most part, like,
yeah,
everyone came out with such different shots and planned for very different things. That, I believe, is Julius.
That's
right?
Julia's. Yep. With the right after Max Q with that plume behind it. That was such a cool sight.
Yeah, and I have to say, so glad Julia was out. She came by the jetty. Max and I were at the jetty, and Julia was going around to, I mean, y'all on the broadcast probably know this, going around to different viewing locations, seeing how they were filling up with people. Julia delivered patches so that we could continue to hand them out to people on the pier. Thank you so, so much, Julia. And she got this shot from, I believe, right around the port area.
I think she said she stopped off by Grills because she didn't have enough time to get over to Cars Park, which is also where some people watched from. But yeah, she did not have a bad view.
No, not one bit. I always love the wide shots that really give you the context. That you see a lot of, like, it's always a trade-off. We're always saying, love more focal length, but at the same time,
yeah,
sometimes those wide shots really show that trail that you otherwise don't see.
And that's why I love this one that I was able to take, is you really get the perspective of the scale with the lighthouse, the ocean, the dredge in front of it, and then you just realize how massive this thing is. Again, this is about the size, approximately, of a Saturn V we're talking here. It's comparable to a Saturn V. And then with those ridiculously tall towers, that's why I love this one. You just really get to, like you said, get the whole scale of it. It's one of my favorite shots. So good. The team absolutely nailed it on this one.
It was a good day. It was a good day.
It was a very good day. I do have a bunch of support that I want to get through here because I know Twist is coming up as we see a couple more of the shots from launch day. I believe this is another one of yours, Max.
Yep.
Indeed
it is.
Shots.
Right before the cruise ship came in and wrecked our view.
Yeah.
I actually have I have a photo in our drive, and it's just after it cleared the towers, and there's the very tip of the bow of the ship, like just coming into frame.
Well, it's fine. That's why, again, we had my angle and your angle. So you got yours just before, and then mine with the wider out. So it keeps the continuity as you go through the photos.
That's it.
Let's see here. In terms of support, Tyler W. much earlier with the $25 super chat. Now with SpaceX, Rocket Lab, and Blue Origin, do you guys see the end near for ULA? I'm going to go out and say, I don't think so. They have their military contracts. They have reliability behind them. You've heard them tout the 100% success rate. You see all the bullseye targets and things that they put out after each of the launches. That's for a reason. So yes, it's more expensive, but the government views that as, hey, this thing is reliable, so I'm going to stick with it. I mean, the fact that it doesn't have reuse does up the price dramatically, but I don't know if you have any other opinions.
I want to hear EJ's thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Oh, little old me. All right. Okay, let's think. So, just like, do you see the end for ULA? No, Sawyer, you're right. It's the defense contracts. They ain't going anywhere. They aren't going anywhere. They're contracted for 30 plus launches for Amazon Leo, as it's called now, or formerly Project Kuiper. I like Project Kuiper. I think that Project Kuiper is a better name. Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's a way better name.
Agree.
Yeah, all right, cool. We all agree on that. Excellent. Perfect. They're not going anywhere. And, like, the thing is, Sawyer, like, they do have smart reuse. The ULA has talked about a concept where they jettison the engine section on Vulcan, and it goes through a heat shield, and it has a heat shield on it. An inflatable heat shield pops up. It goes through reentry, and then parachutes down. They go fish them out. The heat shield being inflatable makes it float, makes the rocket engines float, and the engine section floats. You can just fish the engines out and take them home. And ULA has tested this technology with NASA, the Lofted mission. which was a joint. It was a rideshare mission with I think JPSS-2, Joint Polar System satellite. I think they did test the heat shield. It does work. So they are kind of doing reuse, but when that's going to happen, we don't really know. But I think it's important to understand. Like, I know I just said like a second ago, like reuse is the future, right? But I will say this just to throw a monkey wrench in my own argument. You can bring the price down on vehicles for reuse if they're simple enough. Even expending vehicle, not for reuse, for you can bring the price down per launch with an expendable vehicle if you can mass produce it. It's possible. Now, whether ULA is going to do that or not is one thing or the other. Like, okay, I know some people like it, some people hate it. I love it. Ares 1 would be a good example. Ares 1 is not very complicated, compared to your rocket. The first stage is just a solid rocket booster. It's got like one or two moving parts. If something like Ares 1 could have been employed in mass, right? Or something like Omega. Yeah, I know. He's shocked by this, right? If something like Omega or the side though, if something like this could be employed in scale, you can have an expendable vehicle that is cost effective in a primarily reusable launch environment. However, I don't think ULA is doing something like that. But the defense contracts, Sawyer, the defense contracts and all their contracted missions for Project Kuiper are really going to keep them afloat for a very long time. I wouldn't worry about it. I don't think they're going anywhere.
Agreed. Continuing through here, Sam Morgan saying, yes, New Glenn's thrust-to-weight ratio at liftoff is low, but the MECO velocity of New Glenn is higher than Starship. It sure is slow off the pad, but that MECO velocity, though, it is fast. And again, keep in mind, Starship not planning on going to full orbit yet, so that may be part of it. Saturn Man, Ryan's commentary during the booster landing made one of the most intense NSF moments ever. Holy cow, thank you everyone at NSF. That was absolutely
really was
brilliant.
Good.
Also, Doss's art made it fantastic until we realized, oh god, his math is right. The boat is going to be right in the way at that exact moment. So, Ethereal Swordsman with the $10 tip at tips.nasaspaceflight.com saying, well, that happened. Apparently, Methalox is just violet in the day and blue at night. Maybe we'll get blue Starship when it does a night launch. Even more hyped for Neutron and Nova now. Also, New Glenn's launch entry landing merch is wrong now. This flight was 733, but it dropped down to 1. So 7-3, eventually 1. So I guess that kind of still works.
It does.
Ken Rathbone, thank you for upgrading to Padrat. Mr. Fluffy saying, okay, D-Wise, what does the arm of your shirt say? I think it said tips, it looked like. Were you asking for tips? Did Sawyer make you wear that? Because always be plugging.
So that was just an extra hoodie. It was a bit chilly at the time, so I was wearing a Linus Tech Tips hoodie. But I have to say, both Julia and myself were wearing NSF's launch, re-entry, landing for New Glenn shirt. Max the odd one out with the sun shirt, but that's all right because we saw a launch, entry, landing yesterday? Oh my gosh, it was yesterday.
Somehow. That was 27-ish hours ago. That's it for launch.
Oh God. Jeez Louise.
It seems like it was a week ago. I don't know why.
It feels like forever ago.
It's weird.
We got 2 more tonight. 2 more launches.
2 more tonight, yes, within 3 hours of each other.
Yep.
Ethereal Swordsman with the $5 super saying, the current plan from what we know is to use the same booster, never tell me the odds, on the next flight in January for Blue Moon Mark 1. We'll see. Not sure if they're going to reuse it yet. We'll have to see what they do in terms of repair afterwards, how the deck of the drone ship held up, things like that. So there's still a lot of question marks.
That's what I was talking about, Sawyer. Real quick, I know we're trying to get this done. That's what I was talking about earlier. This is a finished vehicle, so it's not. That's the other thing I failed to mention. It's not going to be much longer for the next flight, guys. It's going to happen sooner than you think. Sorry, keep going.
No, you're fine. We've been keeping track of all the equipment in the flyovers and the little tidbits we're getting from them. And Gaw saying, I posit Sawyer still hasn't seen Methalox because New Glenn is LNG Ox. Well, that's a whole can of worms.
Oh, geez.
And then David getting a bunch of items saying, can I get a pew 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 in celebration of that amazing and interesting landing of the New Glenn first stage? Now that Jack is at his new job, what's going to make the new intro? Thanks all for the great coverage and a fun flame trench. Well, I think Ryan Caton has taken over the intro now, so we'll have to see what they end up putting in. But either way, a lot of excitement still. And stick around. You definitely want to stay tuned for future Flame Trenches and a perfect time to become a member. In particular, a huge thank you as well to our launch directors and flight engineers. Those are the highest level of support that we get from viewers, and we really appreciate all that you guys do. These are the high names that well, I'll give Kevin a second to pull them up. There we go. You get your name at the end of every Flame Trench and NSF Live as a special thank you for that. And a special thank you to everyone who joined me today. EJ, thank you for joining on the trench.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I know it's a privilege being on here. I love doing it. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I stream over on Twitch 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I'm usually there for copious amounts of hours playing. I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 6 until like 3 a.m. It's a lot, but it's fun. We have fun over there. We have fun. I also play Kerbal and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you for having me here. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having me on. It's fun being here.
Yeah, it was Kitten Space Agency today, the early alpha. That was fun.
Yeah, you were there. Nice.
I was watching. That was great. Also, great to have Max finally back on the trench. Thanks for joining, Max.
Absolutely, and hopefully this will be a more common occurrence going forward. I love being here, and it's a huge privilege. So thank you very much, everybody, and I'll see you actually in less than a couple hours. Oh dear.
Yes, we'll also see Dee in a couple hours. Thank you, Dee, once again for joining on the Flame Trench.
Of course, it has been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, I think that's about an hour and a half ish to go live.
Yep, 10:08, I think is the first T0 for that. Kevin Michael Reed, the one pushing the buttons, pulling the levers. I'm Sawyer Rosenstein. I have been your host for this episode of The Flame Trench. Stick around. This Week in Spaceflight, the actual serious spaceflight news show where we go over everything that's been going on with Alicia, is coming up. Yes, Kevin.
Sorry, I know we're running late already.
Yeah.
But we got another minute. So I follow someone because I'm a network geek. I follow someone on X who works on the networks on New Glens, and they said something today. We have already been building and integrating multiple additional New Glens. So we know that there are many in that big, huge building in Florida. They're coming. They're coming. I'll roll the intro or outro.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for watching.
And here we go.
We have liftoff. Propulsion continues to be nominal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Following up. Roger, Atlantic.
Water towers, fly!
Tango down to nominal.
Flight downside SPD off. Bring in SPD off.
It's orange! R45! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage.
What is it?
Put that in the big bag. 343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
This methane will be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You good? Sure. We don't need any more of these.
Go watch Twist. Twist, it's starting. The premiere's starting. Hurry up. Get over there. Go watch Twist. Oh, I'm waiting for YouTube to stand by.
What battlefields have you played prior?
4 and 5, and 3, and 1.
You ever played 3?
I just said 3.
Sorry, Kiffin talked over you. Yeah, it plays like BF3.
Really?
Yeah. And what is my experience on commentating on Battlefield in this matter? I've played pretty much every Battlefield since 1942. In 1999, I was in the 1942 beta because I lied about my age.
I
Really?
loved 1942. It was
Yeah,
so
baby.
good.
Dude, it's so good. It was so good.
Yep.
I will say the graphics are much better on the new version
It's
you
a,
were playing.
It's a trip,
Oh, yeah.
dude. If something blows up in your face in that game, you're like,
You go flying.
Jeez, what the hell? Like, dude, I was like covering a point when I was streaming it the other day, and a fighter jet came through the window and blew up the building, collapsed the building. What that I was in, and the building freaking collapsed around me. Like, what the hell is
That's
that?
amazing.
What is going on here?
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty good, dude. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I've been on the fence about getting it, so I think I'll have to get it now.
Yeah, it's a little bit steep. It's like $70, but it is, dude. Yeah, it's fun. It's a good game. I'm very pleasantly surprised. I kind of want to go play it now.
I'm glad to
I
hear
want
that.
to go play it before Falcon.
AD, I think we have to go.
Speaking of Falcon, I think we have to go.
I think we
There's
have
a
to
Falcon
go.
on the pad.
Two.
There's two Falcons on the pad.
pads.
Do we
There's
do
two-
we for sure know which one's launching first?
I think it's the 39A one,
Are you
right?
positive?
Let me check nextspaceflight.com.
Nextspaceflight.com.
And are we sure that's right?
No.
Yes. 10:08 is 39A launch.
That makes
That's
it.
in 2 hours and 32 minutes.
That makes setup easy.
89 and 85.
Yes and no, because we're staying live.
We're staying
and-
live, so we need to be able to quickly turn a couple cameras over to.
Wait, the second one delayed?
Yeah,
What?
it's to 1 a.m. now.
Oh yeah, it's been.
Okay.
that.
I knew it delayed. I didn't realize. I guess I forgot how much it delayed.
Yeah, it was that after or like right before go live for Trench.
Yeah, so 10:08:10 is the first one, and then 1:21 is the second.
Maybe get time.
Kevin, we good to chill? No. I want to get going.
Yeah, we're gonna be roboting this one. We're just gonna be commentating on this one from our houses.
Yeah, we can just do the stream from here,
I
right?
can't do that from 40.
No, but from pad A you can.
Yes, I can. I don't like it, but I can. Hi, Twitch.
We don't either. Hi, Twitch.
Oh yeah, hi Twitch.
They say hi. Max, the first launch is going out at not you, Max in my chat. The first launch is going out at 10:08. The second one is at 1:30. So yeah, we'll go after the after 6-89 for racing tonight. I do Friday night racing.
That was actually me. Just kidding,
What?
it wasn't me. What?
I was gonna say if you two are the same person, that's very strange.
It's my robot twin.
EJ Saw, I hit 17 months.
Dude, that's ridiculous. I can't believe you've been subscribed for that long. That's pretty much how long I've been at, like, not at NSF, but like doing Flame Trench and stuff. Like that's weird, man. I don't like that at all. That's strange.
Earlier today was my 110 month.
Oh, shut up!
Sawyer has to one up everybody. It's called Sawyer
course I
flexing.
do.
Kevin, are you
Good
new to
job.
this?
It's in my contract with NSF.
I believe it.
Adrian slipped it in there.
Pause.
Hey, Ephemeral, how are you?
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I kind of want to play before Falcon. I want to play Battlefield before Falcon. Is that bad?
Battlefield. Battlefield.
I want to play Battlefield, dude. It's
Means you need a light.
brother. I had a terrible last week, and I've been just coming out here,
dude, I get
binging.
it. I get it.
On Battlefield
I get
to
it.
relieve stress.
I get it.
And I'm like, it's like I'm 18 again, dude. I'm just cranking this game out till like 3 a.m. It's not good.
Oh, look at that abandoner in chat.
Yeah,
There's
they
an
never even
abandoner in
named
chat?
abandoner.
Yeah, there's an abandoner.
Which chat?
Oh my gosh.
Sorry,
That's the
Discord
real
chat.
abandoner right there.
Yeah. I love the DY's face. That's the D face.
Oh my gosh.
I was in the process of screenshotting that, and then like right as I did it, D came back on with the green screen. It was so well timed.
Oh, we don't, Kevin.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I have a feeling this is going to get added to other profiles.
Unfortunately, I actually have no way to save this. There's no good, easy way to save it.
Really?
Yeah.
D's like, oh, thank God.
You couldn't put it on a black background and get a screen capture?
I could do that.
You don't want it saved yet. You are giving Kevin ideas. Make up your mind.
Look, I'm gonna
I
cringe
mean, since you
every time it
suggested
shows
it.
up.
Hold on a second.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God!
cringe
Yes.
every time it comes up, but at the same time, like, a little bit of like joy, maybe.
That's just pure shock.
Okay. All right. I
Jake Keegan.
This is not the first time Kevin has seen me make that face. Not by a long shot.
First time we've screenshotted it, though.
Yeah.
It might not be for all we know.
Where is it?
Oh God.
Okay, here we go. And then I drop.
Why are we doing this?
Oh,
Your suggestion.
It was your suggestion.
There you go.
I regret my actions. Okay.
Even chat has it now. So
I see that chat has it.
yeah.
Oh my.
Here we go. All right. Good. All right.
I better not see any of those posted on Twitter, right, chat?
D, you're
I
not-
will.
Here we go.
Okay,
I will.
I've been doing this. I've been doing live content creation for a long time. Just don't say that.
Embrace the suck.
Don't.
Again, D giving everybody ideas.
They'll do the opposite of what you say.
Have you seen the photos
Post it
of
on Twitter.
elk?
There we go.
Yeah,
Have
there you
seen
go.
Photos of elk?
Definitely post it on Twitter.
I mean,
Well,
you're
now
kind
I'm
of screwed
done.
either
Well,
way.
now I'm not.
I know I am.
You guys, believe me, once you put it out there, you can't take it back.
It's like putting the genie back in the
Several
bottle.
people are typing in chat. D is now trending. Oh God.
By the way, can I just say I literally love the forecasts for both of the launches tonight are copy and pasted word for word.
That's incredible.
Apparently the abandoner tuned out. He literally abandoned this stream and is confused what we're talking about.
Good.
Abandoner.
Sucks to be an abandoner.
So we were actually talking about what it's like to be the head of communications for a startup.
Yeah.
You zoned out.
And it must really suck to be away from all your friends and family and, not be on the Flame Trench every week, must suck.
Thank you, Jake Keegan.
Oh God, what did Jay do?
Just go into general.
Oh God. Oh, come on.
What would happen? I missed it. What happened?
Go into general.
It's an emoji.
Nice.
Mr. Abandoner, I'm on the Flame Trench every Friday, and my commute doesn't suck. You know why? Because it's just I just walk to my computer.
Jay didn't make it a sticker though.
Imagine commuting.
Dude, you're digging your own fucking hole here. Make up your mind.
I don't care at this point. It is what it is.
That's the right attitude to have. You got there. Good job. That's what you.
I've been there, but it's been funnier to be angry, I think.
Leave DYs alone.
Careful what you ask for. Careful what you wish for. Pause.
Oh God, okay.
I think we actually have to go now.
I think you guys do because I'm gonna be saying bad words to you in like an hour because I have no cameras.
Why are you keeping us?
Where are my
you have three cameras? You have 3 cameras to get
I
to
have
the
no
rocket right
cameras.
now.
Oh my God, that's incredible. That's
Oh my
absolutely
God,
incredible.
Vargon.
That's absolutely incredible.
I didn't just totally get cursed out by Jack in a DM.
Adding that to the bank?
Yes.
I was getting texts while we were live, and I was like, "Why are you texting me? I'm live."
I'm gonna open this up so I can show it to Twitch chat.
That's incredible. It corrected!
It corrected, dude.
It corrected!
Oh my God.
It corrected!
It was, dude. Like I said, man, I cannot say this enough. I have never been happier to be freaking wrong about that stuff, dude. Oh, that was great. It was great. What a good landing. I was pumped.
Eric, I already have a couple of emotes from that reaction video. I'm good. People have already done that. Like, I'm good.
Which reaction video? This one?
Mine. My reaction video.
Okay. If you saw in my shot with the 4, I was near tears when the cruise ship crossed in front of my camera. I was like on the verge of crying because we put so much effort into covering this rocket. We've gone out to Jetty Park all these times, spent so long there, and knowing I was going to have to re-find it in the sky, I was just so sad.
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
Dude, I'm never going to forget that. That was incredible.
Yeah.
I seem to remember seeing someone kiss your head.
That was Brandon. That's not in this clip. Yeah. I have deliberately cut that out of the clip that was going to be on stream. Even though
you know what's
okay.
You know what sucks about that the whole cruise ship thing, D? It's like, the captain on the cruise ship was like, "Oh, and to your left, you guys can see the rocket going off. That's SpaceX's new Falcon rocket gonna take off from the and then there's a bunch of people on the cruise ship that are like, "Yeah, that's cool. Where's the bar?" It's just like,
no. Meanwhile,
and you know what?
Everyone on the pier is yelling profanity and creating hand gestures.
No, EJ.
Never have people been more unified in that moment than the pier was against that ship.
You want to hear something,
awesome.
EJ? Apparently, the Port Authority called them to ask them to delay like 5 or 10 minutes because that would have interfered with Blue's tracking, and they flat out denied the request.
Mm-hmm.
It was yes. It was remarkable.
Yeah. Talk about.
The captain is like one of those like, "No, I'm the captain of this cruise ship, and it stays on schedule.
No,
it stays on schedule."
EJ, it's like the rocket's launching. He goes, "If you look on your left, you'll see a rocket launch, and if you look on your right, you'll see a bunch of fucking idiots on the pier." Us.
Yeah, and just that the horn to rub it in is just evil.
Dude. Golly.
That hurt.
Who wants to hear the rocket? Hear this horn instead.
He probably thought those people were waving at the cruise ship. He's like, "Oh, look at all these people seeing me. It's now my time to shine."
There were no friendly gestures made from that pier at all.
No.
There was no mistaking it. There was no mistaking it.
I think some may have heard it through. You may have caught some. I added some bleeps to the replay video for the Flame Trench, and I sent Kevin a DM. Are these words okay for the stream?
That's awesome. That's funny.
And
dude.
I know myself and other photographers were like aware and trying to censor ourselves.
I wouldn't be. I'd be stoking the crowd. I'd be like, "Yeah, screw him!"
No,
sorry.
You evil
I was mad at that
bastard.
cruise ship, but if you go earlier, if you go to the start here, because I do catch re-entry at the end here, but you're gonna watch as I am almost in tears. It's honestly kind of embarrassing.
You're not having a good day there.
No, I'm not. I'm really, really not.
Yeah.
The horn say just.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yep.
Come on!
Delaying departure has a cost. By 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes.
Yep. I think it was even gonna be like 3 minutes. It was crazy.
If it was staying an extra day, yeah, I'd believe that, but not 3 minutes.
I'm really glad I do a rig that has a wide camera, because you'll see it clears the cruise ship there, and I'm able to get it back on my main tracking camera like pretty quickly.
Yep.
And recover. Like if I didn't have that, I could have just been searching in the sky repeatedly, and I could have lost it well into flight. Thankfully, I have that wide camera. I had that over to my right, which is why I was looking over that way, and then I had my telescope and my main tracking shot to my left. And so when I start like zooming in, that's because I'm trying to see the tiny dot of the booster into re-entry. But yeah, we were not pleased with cruise ships. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. There'll be plenty more.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
I definitely got to get going. Max, we got to get going.
Yeah, we do. Kevin, can we go?
Yes,
No.
please. Go
No,
give me
Kevin, hold them
cameras.
hostage.
I need
Wait.
cameras.
I think
Where
we
are
need
my
to do-
cameras?
I
And
think
I
we
need
to do
car
my
parts, but
reaction
you don't see
face
me
for our
complaining.
last image.
I mean, if you guys want me to commentate from home, I can do that.
Oh
I
no,
need your
no, no!
cameras.
now you're trying to get out of it. No, you're
No,
going.
no, no,
You're
no,
gonna
no,
go and
no,
you're gonna
no,
like
no.
it. Bye.
I would never do
Max,
Yes.
where's Pack 6?
that. In the hut.
Okay.
Just kidding. I'm gonna be using. I'm coming. What? Okay. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Do it again. Do it again. Incredible.
Cinema.
Absolutely.
Cinema.
Instead of the Martin Scorsese cinema,
Cinema.
we just need the D face to come up. We do cinema.
DY cinema.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
No.
Yes. Goodbye.
See ya.
All right, y'all. I'm hopping off too. Bye.
Yep. See you later, Max. All right.
Wow,
I think
wow.
we should end this. Are you good to do that, EJ?
No. I'm just gonna
Oh.
sit here.
Okay. Just sit there.
I'm good. You can end it.
Okay. I'm gonna play the outro. And
Okay, bye.
Twitch, see you later.
Yeah, I'll be back over there in a second, guys.
And here we go.
We have liftoff.
Propulsion continues to be nominal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Following up. Roger, roger, planet. Water towers, fly!
Echo down to nominal.
Flight downside SPD off. Bring in SPD off. It's orange! 145! Oh my god! Oh my god! Decollage! Put that in the big bag,
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
The methane will be igniting the flare, correct?
Yikes. You dead? Sure. We don't need any more of these.
They're gonna hate me. They're really gonna hate me. But here, just so you can get screenshots. That's all of their sign-offs. There you go. Just get your screenshots quickly before it ends. It's ending. It's about to end. Yeah, it's gonna end. Okay, good. I see some screenshots popping up. Bye.
Nah, that was me farting. That's just me farting. Sorry. I farted. Do you ever sleep? No. No, I don't do that. I like them French fried taters. That's it, geek. Get in there nice and deep like. We heard? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I mean, maybe. Maybe I did it on purpose. You like the image you made? Yeah, that's a good one. Plenty of time for some Battlefield before Starlink 6-89. Yeah, like an egg, give me water with sugar. More. 2.4 hours lay mullets is starting. Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, man. We went to that last year. I wish I could have gone again. Damn. Remember when we heard thunder in your guitar's pickups? If you fart loud enough, would it pick it up? If I farted into the guitar pickups? I don't know. Maybe? Thanks for the great stream. All right, Nutman. I'll see you, buddy. I don't want to do that for science at all. Like at all. I don't want to do that. What I do want to do is have some of these delicious chips left over from my technicas. Now they're corn chips. The hamburgers might. I have hamburgers. How long till Starlink 6-89? So don't get. So we got some time here. I think we will play Battlefield. We'll play Battlefield, then we'll watch the Starlink, then we'll race, and then if that other Starlink decides to go on the opposite side of racing, we'll do the second Starlink. Second Starlink scheduled for 121. If we start racing at 10:30, right, that should be good enough. Let's play some Battlefield. Yeah? Yeah? Play some Battlefield? How's the KSA tech demo? KSA is very dialed in. Very dialed in, dude. It's really good. Yes, you can fly a rocket, yeah. You ever watch Battlefield Friends back in the day? No. You like that, Evan? Here, hold on. You ready? All right. I can't pick very well. I got a Band-Aid on my damn finger.
Oh yeah, there we go. My finger keeps slipping off the pick. 50 Soda Shop vibe right now? Yeah, baby. Here's the other thing I was working on. Forget how the rest of the song goes. But that was that's the background guitar to Wasted Years. So understand, you realize we're living in the golden years. All right, anyway, too much time on my hands. I got you on my mind. Battlefield time. Let's do this. Let me get everything all fired up here. Let me change the title.